YouTube's still lying about the audio bit rate, but okay. I think everybody got in while I was doing the preamble, so we're gonna switch my Discord audio. Well, I don't know why they're all deafened and stuff. I started that way because I ran really quick to get water, and nobody was in, so I figured I'd just run the before times intro with my audio output real quick.
And I just like rolled in. I'm like, everybody else is muted. Did I miss the memo?
No, it was just a happenstance thing, and they're staying muted because I assume they're not quite ready either. But we're starting now.
I just got my. Oh.
Make sure my audio's all balanced out. Let's make that a little quieter. Switch the scene. This is like very slightly off center on OBS. So let's scooch that a little. Alrighty, okay, but we're here. Well, some of us are here. We're all here in spirit, at least.
Everybody who is here is normally here. They just may not be able to hear us.
Yeah, lots getting food. I was a little concerned about firing it early, but you know, everybody said that they were getting ready, so it's like, okay, no, I got the time to do it. And this one might be a slightly longer one, because the intent tonight is to finally get started talking about the previous full lore archetype they ran through, which is Diabellstar and the Sinful Spoils, because that is officially over. In fact, they've announced what the next lore set will be, which is going to be Anime Magical School. And already people are like, man, it's crazy. Yeah, what do they call it? Artimagia? It's like... I'll find the organization link and dump it in Failed Portrayal, because we will talk about it in full eventually, but...
Well, I'm sure we will.
They'll run it out. I do have a very funny thing, because there's a last-minute announcement from Duod from Duelist Advance, which is that, hey, guess what? We're adding a bonus archetype to this series that we didn't know was going to be there, because y'all have heard of Morganites, right? Stones that do stuff. Yeah. At the last fucking minute, they made a Morganite monster. They made a Morgana. And guess what? Her character design is in Sinful Spoils cards.
Oh.
She was already dead by the time we got to the plot. But that means that the Morganites are going to be in this now, because they decided to fucking tie them in literally at the last minute. That's not going to be tonight, but will be later.
Oh, okay. I'm not reading all these cards. I'm glancing at the card art for this new archetype, because oh my god, there's so many.
Yeah, no, it's a new lore archetype, and they're not even doing the thing where like technically, so I've got all the names for it. So tonight, depending on how far we want to go, will be Diabellstar, obviously, the original run of Sinful Spoils, which is about 5 or 6-ish cards, and then all of the actual Snake Eyes cards, which I forgot this because they are like the Sinful Spoils and the Snake Eyes go together.
There's a lot of them, isn't there?
No, Snake Eyes. There's not that many actually. There's like 5.
Really?
Like, yeah,
5 cards. Yeah.
Yeah, no. The Snake Eyes package is like super small. It's just that you weave them in with the Sinful Spoils, so like that should be relatively short. There are a lot of Goblin Biker names, which is funny.
Gabonga.
Yes,
Honestly,
so we'll see if we want to go all the way there tonight. But yeah, the actual Snake Eyes and Sinful Spoils cards that came out in the first brush are pretty small. Like they're very fast and straightforward.
I kind of wish we actually did like White Forest first, because that's typically the start of the timeline. But I know that's a
well, thing. Yes, but also we don't know any of that stuff happening. So it's like it's one of those things where like strictly speaking, the way this works is, and also I want to bring up, we'll be able to refer to the valuable book EX4 for a little bit of this. That ends with Diabellese confronting Diabellstar. So,
okay,
like that, the actual like the like factual text of White Forest lore and stuff like that, and Azamina's isn't officially translated yet. I think the valuable book 5
I will say,
out?
I should also say that I feel this storyline compared to some other storylines that are long. This one actually, I feel like you could shove into like a 90-minute movie and perfectly be fine.
Well, we know they're going to do it, but we need to see what, because they said they're committed to doing Sky Striker and Albaz first. So we need to see what the actual format of the shorts
Albaz
is.
needs to be like a whole thing, but
Albaz will probably be a season. This honestly could be seasonal, because here's the thing. Here's the structure of how the story we're going to cover goes. There's a little bit of intro, and basically we start in media res with Treasure Hunter Diabellstar goes to the Snake Eyes Temple to steal a sinful spoils. Then there's some stuff going on there, and then a little guy pops out, and she goes back to her underground town, which she uses as a base. The goblins see that she's got a little guy, and they steal it, and we go on a huge, big fuck-off adventure that's, full of plot and stuff. And then at the end of that, right when Diabell thinks she's okay,
she meets her old friend.
Yes, her old pal Diabellese shows up and is like, hey, cool thing you got there. I'm taking it.
My arm, I'm more corroded than you.
Give me that thing.
Give me the little guy.
Give me that thing.
And then turns out
soul.
and then, as I think we get into it, it turns out that she was, unlike Diabellstar, she never got out. She got out very unclean from the whole incident when
Well,
they
it's
were
all
kids.
about sins and
That's later
spoils.
stuff.
But, and basically that meeting with Diabellese, I think the way the game treats it is that's basically like a whole episode flashback. Like, they run into each other, and then it's like, let me tell you how we got here. So it's a very curious case of non-linear storytelling. But yeah, no, this Art Megia thing is like, it's a lot of cards. It's pretty big. I think it's because they are fairly light on the ED. People are already saying combos that it's pretty good. I do want to say, like, what... Because I guess technically, Snake Eyes was kind of unique this way, right? Because they didn't have any fucking extra deck monsters for, like, forever. They were entirely a main deck engine, which is honestly probably why they were so successful, and some would argue possibly even a little toxic, because not having an intrinsic extra deck summoning requirement, they didn't really do a lot of locking you to anything, except maybe fire.
Speaking of which, hey
Lots of
Omega, can I
disappointment.
tell you a fun story that happened to me yesterday?
I mean, maybe later. I'm literally in the middle of a spiel.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm like midpoint here. But I was just gonna say that to finish that point, I do feel like for these like big long lore stories, they love to do fusion archetypes because like obviously, Branded has so much going on with fusion, like literally starting with Albaz being a fusion monster, and now we're back to Art Megia has fusions. I guess Visa Starfrost started with links for Scareclaw, but still they went through a fusion dimension.
Well, they went through all the different dimensions because there was the synchro one, right? Like there was like a fusion synchro.
Yeah, they had all the
XP.
main ED types. But the fusion one was the one that was like one of the two that was turbo good. But yes, Loth, what did you have going on there?
So last night, when I came back home from work, I'm like, let me relax with some Master Duel.
Always.
And
was
I
so
ended up
relaxing.
fighting a guy who was running fucking Snake Eyes, Fiendsmith, Rescue Ace. And the funny thing is, I won because they fucking timed out.
That guy's what we call coping. Snake Eyes Rescue Ace was a good deck once upon a time. There were a few hits to it, and also it got super power crept. But, like, just bolting the Fiendsmith package is not going to make that deck the best version of that. I think if you want to run Fiendsmith Snake Eyes, your best bet is Azamina.
Azamina, yeah.
What's even better is the fact that they put my fucking Z-Arc as a continuous spell, which
very
I still had the donut, so I wasn't taking any damage.
It still counted. That's so
Yeah, that's
funny.
that's a very funny little mechanic thing. You just have to control it. Which
This
means on
one's
the board.
also, I do want to say, this episode, maybe not specifically this episode, but this series is going to be more interesting because I actually have familiarity with these decks. I acquired, like, all the Snake Eyes cards in Master Duel before they limited them to hell. And I still might have multi-copies, but I never got around to playing that deck. Aesthetics-wise, Goblin Bikers are cool. I have zero interest in running Goblin Bikers as their own deck because they're just rank 3s. They're just rank 3 guys. It's never really been super interesting to me. But they are an engine that at least works. When we do the next episode of this, though, I played, extensively, as rapidly as I can rank up through the Master Duel ranks. I do want to say, I think that now that they've added, like, Diamond and Master, they need to, like, change the way Gold and Platinum works, though. It takes way too long to get through Gold nowadays, and that's the middle point. But, like, I've played extensively White Forest and White Forest Azamina. Spoilers, play White Forest Azamina. It's much better. White Forest on its own is a deck that's neat, but doesn't do anything other than make Diabel, which isn't even that crazy.
Oh, jeez.
But I have plenty to say about that, and then Azamina, and then there's some end stuff. And I've seen some Morganite decks. But yeah, Medius is coming out. They're doing a fusion archetype, which is based around monsters that have a bunch of different types, but so far don't have a lot of different attributes. They seem to be, all darks and lights and one earth. Okay, no, one of the fusions is earth as well, because it's a sealed deity. So this deck still dies to Bestials. I can't believe... It's so funny to me. Maybe that's why it is that way, but, like... While these lore archetypes, I think because they're so pushed, and literally I think they are pushed because they are marketing, basically. But it's so funny that these are so pushed, but, like, they get cycled out, right? Except for fucking Bestials and, like, generic branded slop. That is, like, I don't know what that deck did to people's brains, but, like, there are so many branded deep sleeper agents, and they just won't go away. So I think Branded Fusion actually should be banned so that those people need to get a new deck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Branded is just a deck that won't die.
It's basically become the new Invoked. Go ahead, Loth.
No, same with Fusion Destiny. Get rid of that one.
Well, that, I
Come up
think,
with something
like,
new.
Master Duel is so freaky to me, and it's like, people will tell me that I'm crazy, but I'm like, no, just because it doesn't see significant portion of play. First of all, Master Duel doesn't do any bans related to the percentage of play. We all know this. Please look at your local Max C and Ash Blossom and Crossout stats. They don't fucking matter. But also, just because Verte Fusion Destiny into DFD doesn't, like, decks don't do that, because they, like, banned or limited the good Fusion Destiny target, that doesn't mean it should exist. Just ban Verte. He sucks. He's such a shitty little guy.
Yeah, but Omega, he's balanced. He locks you after using him.
Yeah, after using him.
Yeah, after.
But
So just make him. If you make him first,
ass.
you don't.
I
do
can't.
anything.
I can't believe they like left Verte legal and re-enabled Dark Dragoon in Master Duel. Not that actually, like, Dragoon's cool. It's very funny. Dragoon Pass is such a nothing end board. Like, there are so many end boards that you can make in Master Duel that are so much better because all the other generic negates are still legal too.
Oh yeah, I mean, like we progressed so far past Dragoon and DPE being like problem cards.
Yeah.
They're just the evolution in the line of like I said last week, the evolution in the line of like masterpiece style singleton brick houses.
Yeah. And I say this, I still run, since they made him, I run him. They gave him an animation. It's a great card to pepper in, but my goal is never to make that guy because that's the end of my turn, right? The deck I've been playing in Master Duel right now, even though I think my Azamina White Forest Fiendsmith deck is still fully legal, they haven't actually hit anything out of that yet, which is a little crazy. But, like, the deck I've actually been workshopping lately is Metal Morph because they went out of Master Duel went out of their way to put all that shit in Master Duel. I think before like even Metal Flame and Flame Coated Metal Morph were in the TCG. Like, it was like a week before that set hit. So that's actually a really fun deck, and you do play Red Eyes cards in it because you play Red Eyes with Metal Claw, which means you can do shit with like Darkness Metal Dragon, Black Metal Dragon, etc. So I have like a tiny REF package and then like a couple of the normal Red Eyes and one DM in there, just because sometimes you do get to do your whole ass combo and then go, you know, search Red Eyes Fusion or, you know, make Verte, pitch REF, make a big asshole you can't out. But yeah, so like Master Duel, I think is like, or was anyway, a little fun. Some people are not liking some of the current sets of cards they just released, but they're doing a new Triangle Festival. I'm gonna be playing Fire, and I will be playing Flame Swords when our Metal Foes.
Ooh. Metal Foes is always fun. Like my
Yeah.
pet deck of mine. Like, well, not really like pure Metal Foes, but you can splash Metal Foes in a lot of garbage.
Well, and the thing is, Metal Foes is super fun in Master Duel because most of the cards that matter are NR, so like they're cheap. I think there's like one UR in the archetype, and it might be Electromite. There might be a second, but at most you're talking about 2 URs. Also, you get to play Electromite in Master Duel. So like it's a fun time, and basically the way the triangle works is they're breaking up the 6 attributes into 3 teams. So you've got Dark Water, Light Earth, Fire Wind. The loners are utter nonsense for it. Like I think the dark loner is like PKBA, PK Fire, and then
Yeah, that tracks.
the others are the water ones, or just then there's just 2 water ones. Like one of the wind loners is actually no, I remember both the wind loners because it's Lyrilusk, and the other is oh shoot, the name's escaped. Magispectre. There we go. I was like trying to remember the name of that pendulum archetype. I don't remember what the fire one they wanted to do is. It's not very good, but the list is funny, and like it's one of those cases where like I wonder if people are gonna pick because you are forbidden from using any cross attributes. It means that different teams have different hand traps. Oh shit! I have a wind. I can play Fuelos in that, and Ash Blossom. That's fun as hell. Anyway, I have pulled her up on screen. The woman.
Ah,
The stinkiest lady.
Yes.
I've
She's
always
here.
adored her design. I also
Oh,
I've always took it as she's just kind of playing the heel because she knows she's a criminal.
Well, yeah, she is wanted. That's literally the next card we're gonna look at. What were you saying, Visper?
He's so great.
Yeah, Debo's great.
Like this, I like. There's so much to talk about this design, but honestly, I don't have any notes. Like the red and black, the green, like the neon green accent, the pink. It's kind of like fire. Just everything going on here is just an incredible design. I just
you know what else is great?
It's-
I'm sorry.
Go.
The red stockings.
Oh no, this is a perfectly designed baddie. She's got like a short skirt. She's wearing boots that are also got garters on them, like thigh highs, and she's got red stockings under them. This is the international, the Japanese uncensored art, which shows slightly more cleavage. They didn't really make her boobs any smaller in the TCG. They just like pulled up her crop top a
got
little
rid of the
higher.
rip hole. Just got rid of the rip hole, I think.
Yeah. But it's got great accents because, like, she's got, like, one sleeve, which is, like, Gothic Lolita, like, super Victorian ruffles. And then her other sleeve is, like, it looks like it's probably just, like, an elbow-length glove that she's holding a giant fucking stupid anime knife on. She has half
I've
her face
just
covered
noticed-
with a spooky mask.
I just noticed the fucking like hook thing at the fucking base of like.
Yeah, I know.
actual-
Her
the
the
pommel.
sword she's got is wild. She's got like a
It
long coat
always-
or cloak, but it's also like a bat wing.
I always thought that thing was like a scythe. Wow, that's just like a big ass sword.
It's a ritual knife made sword size.
Yeah, it's a big ass knife. She does have a scythe. We'll see that card later, but no, that's like she's covered with weird accessories that we'll understand later are the sinful spoils. Great backdrop work. Like it's just a very iconic design. She's got a hood. You know, we know that we're cool. The like super high level just description of the lore for sinful spoils is there's demons. They're bad. They're inescapable. They fuck up humans. Specifically, the way the lore says, they deceived humans in all sorts of ways, and by extracting and disposing of their souls, they turned them into living puppets. For those creatures that saw only the need for obedient tools, souls stained with sin were disposable. Those who stole and those were stolen from coexist in an egalitarian way, For a girl who had everything stolen from her, a struggle to steal everything began. So basically, the lore is saying, hey, demons are real. They're going to fuck your soul up, hence sinful spoils. And this is a story that's about, those who take, those who are taken from sort of thing. And the sinful spoils are basically like sinful treasures, I think is the literal translation in Japanese. But sinful spoils is really good. That's a very, very good alliteration. Oh, shit, chat. I don't know how it's done it, but my audio has just died. Which probably means you're not hearing anything very well. I mean, you're hearing my microphone because that's an output. So, but that means you're not going to hear those guys. So that means we're going to have to probably drop the stream back down for a little bit and see if we can't reset that. I'm not really sure what sparked it, but I realized that my my music died. Yeah. Let me see if we can get something going. Well, like I said, the audio's dead, so how would I hear him? God. I would say it's my audio drivers, but they're not. They don't need to be updated. They're up to date. Yes! Sorry, yes, no, I just said that on stream, doofus. Well, I was talking to them, and you go in stream, and you're like, oh, Axe is trying to say things. And I'm like, yeah, no, it's not working. In case you can't pick up, my audio was killed. Well, yeah, because... All right, I'm saying this again, and I'm saying this for the last time. Anyone who doesn't get it, I'll kill you. My audio output died. My microphone was working fine. So guess what? You guys could hear me, because Discord was picking that up, and the stream could hear me. I realized later, because there's not a giant blinking light on my screen, that the audio died, because there was no bed music. I plugged in my Bluetooth headset, which worked right away, which is weird. They were picking up stuff. Also, it picked up even though I was deaf and muted in Discord. I'll figure that out later. That will mean that there will not be, whatchamacallit,
BGM?
Yeah, there won't be BGM because, Discord basically hogs everything when I switch in my Discord setup, so I can probably get it, but I can't get it in a short notice to run my, system audio and also run my, I guess we'd say, communications audio. Unless I, started a YouTube stream together.
Every time I plug in my headset, my Discord outputs just explode. It's like it does not know how to process a headset being plugged in. It's bizarre.
Yeah, it's weird. I'm very surprised that it defaulted, but now I should be able to hear you guys, and I think I have re-enabled the output in Audacity so that other people can hear. Let me drink some water. I'm very thirsty. But like I said, with the current setup, that means that we will not be able to do BGM, because like I said, I can't...
It's unfortunate.
I can't get the out... I mean, I can restart my PC, but then that means the stream has to go down for a few and hope that works right away. And I have to, reopen everything.
Okay.
Okay, we're restarting the stream. We're reopening everything. I'll be back to you in 15 minutes.
Oh. Okay.
Okay.
Well, first of all, I'm exaggerating, but you said okay, Axe, in a way that was very much like, oh,
Question
well.
mark at the end?
No, the first okay had no question mark.
Okay.
Anyways, Stinky Girl, right?
Yes.
Why is she stinky again?
We're off to a great
Blood?
start. I can't tell you where it started. I think it started just
I'd rather
from
call her a
the
meathead, but that's
design.
me.
I mean, that's not true though.
I mean, I
This woman
know
is a
she is a
spellcaster.
scholar. She is a scholar.
I mean,
No,
it's nothing to do with the card itself, but one of my favorite things I've seen with fan art is just that she's fucking ripped.
Yeah, I jokingly call her meathead because she's a muscle wizard.
I again don't know how true that is. The stinky thing I think is pretty easy because like I think a lot of people just got the impression from like the card art in stuff like Wanted and other things going on that like she's just kind of like a weirdo slumming it basically because like she lives in a weird. They say later the place where the goblins are is like an underground city she hangs out in, so
Look,
she's like on the DL.
I can say it. She's a woman failure. She's a girl failure. That's like you look at this design and you're like, yeah, this is a person who's trying so hard to act like they have their shit together. I speak from experience.
I keep looking at it as being like, I still think about her as like, I think about her as like a protagonist in like a Gus game. I'm thinking about it's not. I don't think it's Gus. I'm thinking about it's one of like the fucking Knights of Blood games, like the fucking lesbian vampire games. Those dumb ones.
Wow, that's
like
very specific.
Yeah, I don't know either of what you said, but regardless, I mean, there in one of the in the animation archive, like the animation archive shows Dia Bellstar just lazy ass, in bed, sheets off, like just like the most pathetic looking woman ever, and I love it.
Let me see if I can.
I would say pathetic,
Google
but more
that
just
really
like
good.
she's got no money. It's like, I guess the dumb. Okay, no, it was Knights of Azure. Okay, yeah.
Moving on.
Here we go. Yes, I got the screen.
I guess the weird thing to say
Could've
is
made this the thumbnail.
Diablo Star game. Would it be an RPG or would it just be a fucking DMC game?
I think it'd be a hack and slash. I don't know if it would quite be a DMC because she does have kind of like weapons and moves. I don't know how well that corresponds. I'm thinking maybe more like a Metroidvania, like collect you sinful spoils. But yeah, I found the shot.
That cursed genre.
I found the shot, and it's like, yeah, no. Here she is, just chilling, not covered at all by her fucking blanket. She's using her weird wing cloak to like hold more blankets.
Yeah, because I assume the cloak itself is one of the spoils.
Yeah, it's magical. We'll see more of it later. This really makes Poplar look like a fucking alarm clock.
Yeah.
He's great.
Yeah, she's got her mask. I think it's just her identity, like her motif thing, and I guess all the vials she has are
I
like
think
potions
the
or whatever.
mask might be another sinful spoil. I'm not sure,
That's
but
like
yeah.
a thing.
Like, she's just chilling in, like, half her outfit, got the fucking arm, and she's just, in the actual moving short, she's just sleeping away, but, like, she's living in what looks like
clothes.
she looks like she's living in a dingy back room that's just filled with crates. So,
yeah,
yes.
she's in, like, a warehouse, basically.
Yeah.
I love how out of place Poplar looks.
He's so great.
Clearly got the girl failure. And I think that's because I have follow up on that, but that would require me to pull up the second card. And actually, no, we can let me just go ahead and throw Wanted.
Is it weird? I don't think
Simple
she's a girl
spoils.
failure because I feel like she's actually successful at it. She's just on the run constantly.
She's
Kind
eventually
of.
successful, but that's the whole character arc, right? Also, I think the reason why is because of her Wanted poster art, which is when you guys fully see that, when Stream fully sees that, she's very gremlinified in the art. So like I think that influenced a lot of people's assumptions of her.
I also think the left sleeve is just so weird. That's just a One Piece thing. Like the poster's always fucked up and weird.
I love the out of line red crayon.
Yeah, somebody's been doodling on this.
Yeah, it looks
so
like
go ahead.
it honestly does look like Diabel found that and just said, no, that's not right. you missed the details.
Yeah.
Also, I love that the person I love the idea the person that made this is like someone that she looked at and just like was angry at, and they ran the fuck away and just took that picture out of that.
Yeah. So to describe and continue the lore, the prologue 2, A Seeker of Sinful Spoils, is in a certain tavern of the underground city, because that's a thing that will come up later. Basically, it's just like told from a first-person perspective of the bartender being like, "Hey, you know, talking to Diabelle about her stuff. Hey, you girl over there, have you heard this one? People are saying the Seeker of Sinful Spoils has made it all the way to these parts. Huh? You don't know about her? Sorry, I want to put on a goblin voice while I'm doing that. She's
You
a
don't
treasure
know
hunter who
about her.
collects treasures, you see. Rumor has it that for a sinful spoil, she will kill her comrades. Everyone who's seen her says the same thing. She's truly a demon. Huh? You're asking me if I've seen one of these sinful spoils? No way, I don't want anything to do with those dangerous things. That reminds me, there was a guy saying he saw a weird eye in the ruins to the southeast. Oh, you're leaving already? Boy, what an unsociable girl. So clearly that is the bartender not recognizing Diabelle from her own wanted poster, telling her about herself.
That's just gonna be like, I guess, the first 5 minutes of that episode.
Yeah. So, like, obviously, with the wanted poster, with the talk, there is some, like, I think some of that girl failure energy comes from the fact that, like, I don't know if she plays the heel, but, like, people definitely think of her that way, right? Like, she is clearly a character who is thought of as evil, but is not.
I think she's haven't had a conversation. I don't think she's had a proper conversation in, like, years.
You see it a lot with kind of like the story beats something like this, where like, oh, if someone is turned into a criminal by the system, just like in these stories, like look at One Piece is a great example where like everybody who never meets Luffy assumes, oh well, he's a pirate and he's got like a gigantic bounty, so he's got to be like a disgusting monster who kills everything in his path. And then the people who know Luffy is like, he's just a guy. Like he's just a dude.
He's just like really. He's just an impossible dude.
He's just really hungry. That's
weird.
Diabelle Star is definitely more of like the just like. Yeah, she's just out here making her own way. The description of her from the valuable book EX is a treasure hunter who wears a black outfit and controls magic. Her lack of mercy vanquishing enemies while gathering sinful spoils earned her the moniker of a demon. By nature, it should be impossible for humans to use sinful spoils, but she's managed it through a special spell. Nobody knows about her past. So basically, to everybody else in this very undescribed setting, like I said, this is mostly a character arc, which I do think remarks to a comment, Axe, you made in text earlier of like, this one is much more compact and concentrated because it is mostly character beats, not world beats.
Yeah, because it's like, to me, it's like Diabelle Star in future context. She's just has a very traumatic life event, so she just doesn't know what mercy's like.
But like her, to everyone else, they're like, oh, there's something wrong here. Like, there's no way a human could use those sinful spoils. Those are made by demons, and she's busy going out there.
Be a demon.
Yeah. And what we know later is that, much like everyone else,
she's tied to the origin. She's just tied to the genesis point of demons.
No, I think that's much older than she is. They said, they've always been calamities in the world. But she's tied directly to the creation of some of these specific sinful spoils. And I do want to say that, Diabelle's problem is that she has credit card debt and she can't run away from the phone callers anymore.
I don't think she got away from the corruption. I just think it was like very minimal compared to everyone else involved. The process there.
Well, so I mean, it's pretty easy to say. Obviously, there's sin on her hands because of how the sinful spoils works. They used that phrase before, but I also want to say that like I think that she is much better at managing that than others. It says that she can control her sinful spoils through magic, for instance. So anyway, what does this spell actually do? What does this lady do? Diabelle Star, the Black Witch. Well, wanted searches her, but we haven't talked about the actual effect of regular Diabelle. Yeah.
Right.
Kuromajo Diabersta, by the way, just very simple. Her name is very literal. She is a dark spellcaster, level 7, with 2,500 attack and 2,000 defense. So clearly, she's already an ultimate wizard.
She's a protagonist.
You can special summon this card from your hand by sending one card from your hand or field to the graveyard, most generic summon condition in the universe. You can only special summon Diabelle Star the Black Witch once per turn this way. You can then use each of the following effects once per turn. If she's normal or special, set a Sinful Spoil spell trap directly from your deck, which gets her Ash. And then during your opponent's turn, if this card's sent from its owner's hand or field to the graveyard, set a card from your hand or field to the graveyard. If you do, summon her back.
Ironically,
and that's basically it.
considering how I feel like some effects are also kind of tie into like narrative beats because they do that, and like most of the time for like story archetypes.
Mhm.
I feel like there is a gathering point. But I feel like it comes as being like, I'm not sure how the discard ties in, but maybe it's just like she finds a lead, she shows up to find a sinful spoil, and even if she gets lost, she will come back later to get the sinful spoil, no matter what.
Yeah, I think the best way to think of it is just they found a good way to represent the lore effects in the context of just making a good core card. So obviously, Dia Bellstar is going to be valid in any deck you're going to be playing that's going to utilize Sinful Spoil spell traps, of which there are several other sets.
She's a 7, isn't she?
Yeah, she is a 7. Um, she's got standard stats for a 7. Like we joked about, having the Dark Magician stats, which marks her as the protagonist, despite how sinister she is. We don't care about that here. And then just the fact that I think there is something to the fact that they gave her a recursive effect. Like, obviously, normal or special, she searches. That's good. That's pretty good for an archetype, key piece.
Oh, right. I forgot Diabelle had an alt art. Are we going to discuss that later?
Yeah, we'll talk about that at the end. That one just
plot,
got,
I think.
Yeah, that one just got printed. It's
Oh,
pretty
it did?
cool.
Okay.
Yeah, no. Literally, that alt art came out in English in the Quarter Century Stampede they just released.
Oh, okay.
I think we should just go.
No, not now. Don't show it now. But
I
that's
think
at
we
the
should-
end of the story.
Yeah.
But yeah, she does have an alt art, which we will go back to. But yeah, no. I think that the fact that she has recursion built in, is just kind of like, yeah, she keeps coming back. Obviously,
You can't get rid of this. You can't get rid of this
Quick,
fucker.
dumb thing. I forget. What is her attack stat again?
25.
25. She got
2500.
Dark Magician.
If only she was also a pendulum, because then you could use her for Soul of the Supreme Celestial King.
God.
No.
Pendulums too.
Don't need to be doing
I mean, that wouldn't work because then she would never hit the grave to revive.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Like that meme card.
But I
just
do like that it's
making dumb
hand
jokes.
or field, so even if you've got them in your grip, you can use them. They've made it normal or special, so if you happen to have to hard tribute her, it works. And I think the special summon condition of just her pitching a card is just one, sending a card from hand or field. I think just works out in the setup. But also, in general, what'd you say? There's a cost to everything, kind of a thing. And then what Wanted does, which again, the beautiful localization here. So it's Wanted : Seeker of Sinful Spoils, Wanted in all caps. The translation in Japanese is I do believe it has the wanted parts in it, but it's meant to just be the sinful treasure hunter demon. So it's just like demon treasure hunter of the sinful treasures, which is what they called sinful spoils. So making that seeker of sinful spoils, making it wanted seeker of sinful spoils, it all works out pretty good. And what that card does is it's a quick play spell card that says add a Dia Bellstar monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand. Search Dia Bell. Sorry, there are cards later which are we won't be getting into those because that's the next phase of the lore, but there is, play the Dia Bell, seek the Dia Bell, which obviously people wrapped into the meme of forfeit all material possessions to the Dia Bell. The translation team is having some funny. But they also say during your main phase, banish this card from your graveyard, target one of your Sinful Spoil spell traps that's banished during your graveyard, except wanted, put it at the bottom of the deck, draw a card. Use each effect once per turn. So, very potent starter because it adds Dia Bell. It also banishes itself to get back one of your Sinful Spoils, including if they are also banished. Very tight resource loops.
Oh yeah, no, the reason Snake Eyes was just so absurdly powerful in engine, when it first hit, is that you really needed just it was like a 10 card engine, if that, of just good stuff that you could jam into any deck on top of your staples. So half your deck is staples and this incredibly powerful resource engine that can just facilitate the other half of your deck.
Yeah. So let's talk about a few more sinful spoils, because Diabelle has some funny things on her. First, the sinful spoils of Betrayal, Silvera. Or Sylvia in the OCG.
Sylvia.
Don't worry about what this thing with the weird eyeball on its forehead is. We'll talk about that later. But yeah.
Well, it's her little pupper.
Yes, her, and I think that's the. She wears it around her neck, but yeah. No,
Right,
just
she always
one of
has
the
a part
things
of them,
Diabelle
yeah.
has is she just summons a demon dog.
You know, she makes the little fox. She makes a little fox sign with her hand, and it shows up in these people. It's not a reference to anything at all. But no, this is just dope ass art. Like
The art
Yeah.
direction for all these cards is real sick.
Like the scale of this is actually insane.
Yeah, I mean, like-
so at first I was like, oh, I don't know if it would be a character action game. Now that I'm like looking at the art again, I'm like, actually no. I've been playing Bayonetta
No,
again
you-
recently. This could be a Bayonetta finisher.
You could do some like FF16 or Bayonetta style sequences of this very easily.
Yeah, like
Quick
just
time event.
big QTEs. Yeah.
honestly,
Good.
I look at this and get the vibes of like a Tales game.
It would only have like 2 characters because like you wouldn't be able to have Diabelle Star or Diabelles in your party until like after the main story.
Yeah, but like Tales games are just a kit bash of action adventure and RPG. So it's a mix of both.
There's a few things you could do. Yeah. So Silvera is a normal trap that says send a Diabelle Star monster from your hand or face-up field to the graveyard. Target a face-up card in the field. Negate it. When an opponent activates a card or effect in response to your deal spell monster effect or your sinful spoil spell trap card or effect activation, banish this card from your graveyard, negate that effect. You can only use each effect, one effect per turn, and only once that turn. But yeah, we're already seeing why this deck has that tight resource thing going on. So this is a card that you can search immediately. You can set it even immediately off summoning Diabelle Star. And then it turns your Diabelle Star into a targeted face-up card negate, you know? And then, by the way, if you're doing this on your opponent's turn, you don't have to send Diabelle Star. Your opponent doesn't have to send Diabelle Star. It's just if during your opponent's turn, if she's sent from the hand or field to graveyard. So this means that if you have cards in hand or field left to recycle, you can just summon your Diabelle Star back after turning her into a negate.
Ooh.
Which then
Yeah, I
searches
mean-
another sinful spoils.
It's in the same way they like Snake Eyes was. God, my timeline is all mixed up. Is all fucked up. in my head.
Agov
Snake
is
Eyes
late
well
23.
before Riseal, yeah.
Yeah. Riseal was like late 24 technically, so it's about a year before. Because it was October technically. Was Agov. So
Yeah, I mean,
so
it's like-
little over 12 months.
There's definitely has been stuff before this, but Snake Eyes really feels kind of like in the same way that Tournament kind of like ushered in this like a new mini generation of overtune archetypes. Snake Eyes kind of feels like the further evolution of that, whereas Tournament was hyper focused in on a certain style of play. Snake Eyes, like we keep saying, can just kind of do whatever you want as long as you just have the resources. And this deck is just this little archetype of this little
Yeah.
suite of cards just does
The
nothing but
Sinful
get you
Spoils and
resources.
Diabelle Star are basically infinite spell traps. The Snake Eyes are basically unlimited monsters if you're doing them correctly, and they both flow together. I decided to stick the second one. This is a card that like this always bothers me, but so it's the Sinful Spoils of Doom, and it's spelled like with like an R into a C. In Japanese, it's pronounced Rushira, so I think it's Rusiela?
Luciela?
Lucia.
Wait, what is it?
So it's RCIELA.
We pull up the Sinful Spoils card.
But the way that the OCG has it written is, like I said, Rushiera.
Ushiera.
Yeah.
Ushiera.
So I think it's Rusiela. I was thinking it might be Riclea or Riclea, but
Marsilia.
Yeah, it should be
Oh,
Rusilia.
it's Rusilia is a variant of the French Lucille, derived from the Latin light.
Okay. Which makes sense because there's another card, which I believe that is linked to this, who is just called was at least in the OCG. I think her name in TCG is also that is just Rusia, as in Lucia.
Her coat has become a scythe.
Yeah, so that's the other half of it is so her neck piece becomes Big Dog, and her like wing cape becomes a scythe.
I do appreciate the tiny detail of her dumbass giant knife on her back.
Yeah, she still got it. Also, you can see that, like I said, her other sleeve is just a glove. So she has a big scythe she can use for like whirlwind attacks. What Rusiella does is it is a quick play spell card that says target a level 7 or higher spellcaster you control. So ideally, Diabel, but can be anything. Apply the following effects. While face up, that monster is unaffected by other monsters' effects this turn, but is sent to the graveyard during the standby phase of the next turn. All monsters your opponent currently controls lose attack equal to its attack. Then if their attack becomes 0, destroy them. So, not as potent, I think, as the negate on Silvera, but Rusiella is like also really annoying because it's either just a kind of delayed forbidden, basically, or your opponent's current monsters just lose 2,500 attack, and if it takes them to 0, they fucking explode.
I honestly love effects like that. I'm trying to remember.
Oh, it's old Slifer, the executive producer, is I think one of the first.
Slifer and even like reptilian style.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, reptilians can do some very funny things with zeroing out attack. So there's a lot of, like I said, a lot of funny ha-has. But yeah, both of these are pretty powerful tools that she has. So, as we said before, Diabel starts with these, but what she's after is another one. Because she's, in the bar, she hears a legend of there being a big snake eyeball. And let me actually double-check the wiki, but I don't know if they've ever given a explicit, like, etymology why they decided to go for 4 sinful spoils. It's just what they decided to call them, because they're just literally sinful treasures in the OCG. They are, weapons made of souls. So,
I think Sinful Spoils flows better than Sinful Treasures.
Yeah, no. The alliteration is very good. That's not true for Snake Eyes. I can tell you what Snake Eye, which also sometimes is eyes, is for. First of all, it is almost assuredly meant to be a literal discussion of the phrase snake eyes, as in you rolled 2 1s on 2d6. I think that the nature of like Diabel Star's kind of like life, right, makes perfect sense, right? Oh, you rolled snake eyes, that shit sucks. But also, I love this because I did a fucking Fan Servant Friday on this, but the names of the level 1 monsters are a reference to a Lithuanian folktale, Egle, the Queen of Serpents. At the end of that story, she has 4 children, 4 daughters, who are turned into oak, ash, birch, and aspen trees.
I was gonna say because it's just it's trees.
Yeah.
Some people who are morons thought it was like a Wicked reference. I don't know what
they thought popular was literally popular. Yeah.
And by people who are morons, I mean MBT. He was dead
too
theater.
He was too theater brained.
Like he was.
That
he
wasn't
was
a
just,
joke.
No, it has to be. It has to be. Wicked.
I mean, I think he played it up for a joke, but also MBT is a theater kid. I bet he really thought that. And I mean, I don't want to say that like you've got a good witch and a bad witch, so like it kind of tracks. But I think they were going for something a little more generalized. They get a little weirder. But yeah, no, the snake eyes are definitely like they literally become trees. And that's also, like, a super popular thing. But it is funny to me that got misinterpreted because it reminds me of another thing that got misinterpreted, which is just, hey, does anybody remember reading translation spoilers for FGO a few years back and being, yes, the character Tanelico. No, it's Ash.
Oh,
It's
man.
Ash is an ash
Yeah,
tree.
it's
It's literally
yeah,
ash tree, guys. We were trying way too hard. It was just ash tree. Her
yeah,
name's
like
Ash.
I like for so long Tony Lico was like, oh, that's what she's called. Like I never understood it. It took me like 5 minutes of googling to find. Oh, it's because it's like Welsh for ash tree in essence, or some from whatever. If
Yeah,
I
yeah. The
Welsh or something.
so the people who translated thought it was just like, oh, it's a reference to like there's an obscure game series that is also like translating that's called Ars Tonelico, and they're like, oh, that's what it is. No, it's just ash tree. It's ash trees are important. Anyway,
Fair, but I mean, it also doesn't go past Nasu or like the other people at Type Moon to like make just do a game reference.
well, that's what I said. People turned out to be trying too hard. They were like, it must be an obscure reference. No, it was a non-obscure transliteration because they thought it sounded cool.
Well, I mean, it's also something you see. I mean, look, hey, I'm going to throw a small amount of shade at the YG organization. I appreciate
Go
all
for
they
it.
do.
They
I appreciate
try.
all they do for us with giving us these early scans and putting this information out. Those fuckers try so hard to get so witty and punny with their own translations of
Yeah.
of what they think this card's gonna be like. Octa's gonna be localized into. And I'm like, guys, just do just post the cards.
Yeah.
I
Sometimes they're trying
appreciate
so
the
hard.
effort. I appreciate the effort. I do, but there's a point where you try so hard, you get like you create this feedback loop of expectations for audience members who don't understand that the organization is just a fan made thing, and they get pissed off when they aren't this archetype they've been saying for 3 months before it gets released.
Yeah. But this card is Sinful Spoils of Subversion, Snake Eye. Again, the translation team going crazy here with the alliteration. It was
the
Sinful
super
Treasure
starter.
of Rebellion.
You thought one of was the starter. Here's the super starter.
Oh, no. This is not the starter. This is the removal spell. This is the
Oh,
world's most annoying. You're thinking
Right.
of original Sinful Spoils, which will come later.
Right.
Snake Eye's or Subversion Snake Eye is the normal spell that says target a face-up monster on the field, put it in its owner's spell trap zone as a continuous spell. You can only activate one per turn. It's the
Oh, right,
world's
this one.
most
This
annoying
fucking-
removal trick.
Mm-hmm. It sucks.
And this one technically was like the preview that started it all, because this came out in Duelist Nexus like 3 months before they actually released like Diabell Star and the Snake Eye and stuff. So it was just people weren't sure what the fuck it meant, but no, it's just a weird guy. There's not exactly a decent, justification for what it is. The wiki tries and says that it could be like a Medusa reference, because you're like turning enemies to stone, but I don't think it actually does that at any point in the card art. That was probably just a guess they had before this was an archetype. I will say that, like I said before, if the Sinful Spoils are supposed to be characters kind of like, peoples who are their souls are stolen by demons and turned into tools, I'm not exactly sure who this one represents, but it's big and scaly.
I mean, it might be her mask unless that's also a Sinful Spoils we'll see in a second.
I think that is one that comes up later, though that could just be part of her magic. But yeah, I mean, this is not a thing that Diabell owns already because this is what she goes to the Snake Eye Temple for.
Yeah.
Twitter always knows Loth. I will browse Twitter moments after something happens, and I will immediately get attacked by it.
Yeah.
But speaking. Anyway, I don't hate this card. Don't like it.
It's just really annoying. It's like it's
not
fallen
even-
out of
it's not
favor.
it's not removal. It's just okay, cool. My thing doesn't do anything because it's now a fucking spell card.
Yeah. It's really annoying, but there's ways around it. And we have a follow-up too after, she's going to be in a big old fight and then she's going to do a thing and she's going to get the rock. This is the card we were talking about earlier, the original Sinful Spoils. Snake Eye. This card is banned in the TCG. And I think it's like it's unlimited in Master Duel Wild. I guess once you are, you don't want to give them free dust.
Cowards.
Yes, there are many cowards, but yeah, it's looking good.
I love the tiny claw hand coming out of the cape. It looks like he's just like, oh.
Yeah, the little the Risciella hand thing is very funny. Yes. Um. So, this is the card that we talked about that is the super starter. This is a normal spell that
Oh
says
yeah.
send one other face-up card you control to the graveyard. Special summon one level 1 fire from your hand or deck. Just any
That
one
could be
level 1
anything.
fire.
It could even be a TG salamander.
Could even be a
I mean,
hydrant.
there's so many level 1
Or
fires.
whatever
Does
rescue
hold
ace
on.
it was.
Let me check the tips page. Do we have a list of all of them? Yeah, we do. Yeah, there's 49 cards. Which the wiki has listed. You can get Altergeist Perriator. You can get Chevalier Bradamante. You can get some Evil Tiles. Get some Flamvels. You can get like all the Infernobles, who are the level 1s. You can get Decatron, Jet Synchron. You can get Ponix, of course. Ooh, Bismuth counts. That's fun.
There's just like, I mean,
Hydrant, which was also why specifically Snake Eyes Rescue Ace was a big deal, because getting Hydrant is really important.
there are so many random level 1 fires. Like we could do this for the rest of the stream at this point.
It was I mentioned before. It's literally there's 49 of them. There's almost 50 targets.
Yeah.
So like it's
Yeah.
a crazy good like weird generic starter for a lot of decks. But also, hey, you have more effects. You can banish this card from your graveyard, target a Snake Eye or DOS in your graveyard, add a level 1 fire monster from your deck to your hand, then put the targeted monster at the bottom of your deck. You can only use each effect once per turn and only once that turn. But yeah, no, this is just what we were talking about earlier, right? The reason why I think Snake Eye became so meta-defining is because it's a small enough package that you can run it at its minimum inside other decks that are good, like Rescue Ace and Fire Kings, were I think the first big winners. And then it just forms the world's tightest resource loop because everything fucking replenishes another thing. Diabellstar can float into herself and then search another sinful spoils. You can banish Silvera to shuffle back. No, you banish Wanted to shuffle back one of your other sinful spoils, which are banished or in your graveyard. You can banish OSS to fucking add a level 1 fire monster, then tuck back a Diabellstar or Snake Eye from your graveyard to the bottom. Like, just they form more and more dinguses.
You thought you got out? No.
You know, and all this time they're just searching shit like Snake Eye or Risciella to just blow up your board, all that other funny stuff. But let's actually talk about the actual Snake Eye core. First, they got a field spell, which is very funny to me. I feel almost like this is a sign of, like, changing game design, but, like, none of the other archetypes in this lore setup got field spells. Like, I think Konami just realized, like, partway into this process, they're like, wait, we don't actually need field spells. That's just a thing we don't need to do anymore. You know?
Field spells are really strange. Like, they've gone through so much just bizarre evolution.
Yeah. And I think now, like, because they're literally trying to make AFD its own deck again, like, you're going to see generic field spells doing stuff. But we've also seen a lot of cases where, like, that used to be Konami's great big band-aid was, well, every deck can play a field spell, you know? And now it's more like, well, you know, you don't need a field spell. Now, I do want to say, this field spell, hella sick. It's really rad looking. But Goblin Bikers don't have a field spell as far as I can recall. Despite the fact that White Forest talks about a White Forest, if they have a field spell, it was added way later. Azamina don't do that shit. Like, it's very funny to me that we're kind of like phasing out of the zone of making, you know, field spells. Basically, like Konami no longer sees them as essential.
I mean, it does kind of work out, and works out in weird ways where you kind of end up with like one archetype is fully self-sufficient without one other archetype isn't, and you like, I mean, again, like the it's why Snake Eyes Rescue Ace was just such a strong like combo, because Snake Eyes never needed to have to worry about
Yeah.
having a field spell to facilitate a shenanigans, so you could just lean on the Rescue Ace and just
Yeah.
use everything over there to shore up any weaknesses of the early packages of Snake Eyes.
Yeah. Divine Temple is a good card. That's what this is, by the way. The Divine Temple of the Snake Eye. But it's one of those cases where, like, it's good, but you don't need to play it. Like, it is a field spell that starts your combo, but also doesn't, you know? Like, it's not an essential starter. And so all the rest of them phased out. I'm like theory crafting in my brain. I'm wondering if Konami decided to phase out field spells for this kind of stuff because the Vsauce cycle was especially super reliant on field spells, and that kind of bit them in the ass because they had to ban all of them. Like, Perlarino and Raysoth were, like, so important to Tier Limits and Cashier, respectively, that, like, they eventually had to hit the FL list, depending on where your polity is. And so it's definitely one of those things of, like...
Isn't there, like, a secondary tier field spell?
Yeah, I think they made a
some
second
reason?
tier field spell because the first one got banned everywhere. Or is, like, limit 1 and everywhere still. Yeah. No, so, like, field spells were really key to those decks, so maybe they decided to move away. What Divine Temple does, besides looking, once again, hella sick, is when this card is activated, place one Snake Eye monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard face up in its owner's spell trap zone as a continuous spell. Just place anywhere. You have a Snake Eye, put it in your back row. Level 1 fire monsters you control gain 1100 attack. Once per turn, if your opponent normally or special summons a monster, except during the damage step, target a monster card on the field, treat it as a continuous spell, special summon it to your field. Activate 1 Divine Temple Snake Eye per turn. So, by the way, yes, this does mean that if you use that in conjunction with Subversion, you can steal your opponent's monsters.
Yeah.
So, like, this is just another one of those cards that, like, yes, this is the field spell that does everything, but it's very funny to me that I think this gets shaved out of a lot of Snake Eye lists just because your other engines usually need their field spell more, and this is very cute. This doesn't actually do anything that you need it to do. Right? Like, you don't need to place a Snake Eye from your hand, deck, or graveyard face up on your spell and trap zone. You have many other ways to do that. Nor do you need your level 1 fire monsters to gain 1100 attack. That's funny, not necessary. And if anybody asks, I don't know why it's 1100. I think it's just because it's Snake Eyes 1/1.
That's what I would assume. It's just, I mean, look, whenever you got the chance, just get a little funny with it. Why not?
Yeah.
Could be worse. Could be add 100 defense, 100 attack.
Yeah.
I think we're past that. All right. I'm just going to show these first 3 boys, the first 3 trees, like, all at once because they're neat, but they have the visual designs of mooks from a video game. So,
yeah,
we don't really need to,
aside
like,
from
go one by one. Yeah, we'll do Poplar
Aside
after
from
because
Poplar-
he technically comes out after.
yeah, it's ash, birch, and oak.
Yeah. And then let's grab oak. And I should note, very importantly, these are all the reason why we also will be doing Flamberge and Poplar after is those are Snake Eyes. Ash, birch, oak are Snake Eye because they only have one eye.
Is Flamberge ash, like, realized? Because
I think
palette
it's
is very similar.
I think it's all 3 of them. I'll double check the lore in a second. Let me see how this is framed up. Can you see all those guys? Yeah, you can kind of see them all. They're a little big. Let me shrink them like 90%.
Let me look up. Let me.
So what I do like about all these designs is that they're color coded. But like I said, these guys are like if Diabellstar was in a character action game, right? These are like your 3 different generic mooks you keep fighting. There's the weird flying guy who's probably really annoying. There's the fast cat one, the purple guy, and then there's the mini boss type, big green guy who's gonna punch you a lot. You're gonna fuck up the quick time event and you're gonna get punched.
This is the guy where if you fail a dodge roll, he just swats you like a bug.
Yeah. So they all have good, very distinct character arts. They're all visually distinct. I know that's something that some people talk about with Yu-Gi-Oh! Is like sometimes cards kind of blur together. So, these are pretty easy to remember. Each of them has a different color combo. Okay, so no, there's not specific lore about each of them.
I'm surprised there isn't.
Yeah, there's a little note, then they use oak for the caption, and they talk about the dragon, but the general vibe, I think, is that it says that their underlings are born from the azure flames enveloping the flame dragon, and it says that they defend their mother sinful spoil, so they just kind of are spawned by the big eyeball. So I can see a little why people may have been confused about what this archetype represented, because the OCG did get cute with the names. Snake Eye Ash, for instance, is called Snake Eye XL in the OCG, as in Fraxinus excelsior, which is the scientific name of the common ash tree. So, that sounds a lot cooler than Snake Eye Ash, but also that's the kind of thing where you read that translation and you're like, what the fuck does that mean?
That's a bit much.
Yeah. So I do believe these all have different stats, but all of these are level 1 fire pyros. So they're all searchable with OSS. They're all searchable by bonfire. They're all 1-for-1able. And many other jokes about the Year of Fire they've got going on.
I even think about the fact that original Sinful Spoil is like 1-for-1 on crack. God.
I mean, to be fair, I think it works because, yes, there are a shitload of targets that are level 1 fires, but, also, there's a lot of dog shit. There's, Flamvels and Neo-Flamvels on there. There's Jirax on that
I'm not
list.
gonna pretend every target is good, but it's the, even with the restriction, it feels like a better 1-for-1 is in.
Oh, no, it is. Well, and I mean, I think that makes sense that, I think, like I said before, I'm pretty sure Master Duel and OCG both have OSS at, 3. They just let you play less Diabellstars, I think, is the way that works out. The TCG is no, OSS is the problem. Get that shit out of here. So 1-for-1 is at 1, and the TCG OSS is just banned. They're just no. You can have 1-for-1. You can have no super 1-for-1s.
It's 1-for-1. It's a monster pitch from hand, right?
I believe so. Yes.
I can't believe I'm forgetting that. It's been so long since I've used.
Pretty sure it's discard a monster.
And a monster card from hand to graveyard. Oh, it's not even discard. It's send.
Send.
Because
okay,
of course.
Yeah. Yeah. Send.
We can't have you getting free discard fodder for your Dark Worlds.
Yeah. Okay, so Ash is 800, 1,000. If it's normal or special, add a level 1 fired from your deck to your hand. Send 2 face-up cards you control, including this card. Special summon a Snake Eye monster from your hand or deck, except Ash. You can use each effect once per turn. So Ash searches fucking anything in this archetype, and then you can send it plus 1 other Snake Eye monster to special summon any Snake Eye from your hand or deck again. Crazy overtuned shit this deck has for 3 guys. Birch is a level 1, which has 0 attack and 2100 defense.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's a prevent rat type situation. If you control a fire, you can special summon this card.
Oh, hey, there's one funny target I remembered. Flameville Guard.
Yep.
For OSS.
But yeah, if you control a fire, you can special summon Birch from your hand. You can only special summon it once per turn this way. During your opponent's turn, quick effect, send 2 face-up cards you control to the graveyard, including this card, special summon a Snake Eye from your hand or deck, except Birch.
Oh, why not? Just get it. Okay, so does Snake Eye also get Snake Eyes? That should be how it works,
Yes.
right?
No, Snake Eyes
Okay.
count. Yeah.
Okay,
So you
that's
can get
what I
you can get
assumed.
Flame Barf, you can get Poplar that way. You can get future cards we're talking about either later tonight or in a future episode. Also, again, Birch had another extra fancy name. They called it Snake Eye White Birch, as in white birch.
Which, I mean, that's fine. Look, that's whatever.
Yeah.
We're not doing Excelsior or whatever.
Yeah.
What was it?
Fraxianus Excelsior, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, white birch is a type of birch tree, so very simple. But yeah, no, Snake Eyes Birch, if it's on the field, you can send any two face-up cards you control to, including itself, to quick effect summon any Snake Eye from your deck or hand.
Yep. Hate these cards. Hate them.
These guys are really annoying. And then our last one is Oak, out of the original
I like
classic.
the design, but still.
Yeah, Oak is the biggest and strongest of them with 900 attack, but 200 defense. So you could rekindle Oak and only Oak. The funny thing is, right, that like fire used to be so shackled by rekindling, and now we're just so past it. Like, Snake Eyes really just went, fuck it, man.
It's a really funny thing about rekindling, how rekindling just defined fire for 15 like a decade.
Yeah.
I don't. When did rekindling come out?
And then it became
Early
Bonfire.
Blue
And now
Terminal, so
Bonfire,
yeah, it's got to be like 10 years.
and now Bonfire is basically it's now just a Rhoda, as now it's not limited. So
Yeah, I mean that's for Pyro, which is
2009.
Yeah,
nearly
over
15 years
over
of
a
that.
decade. Jesus.
Nearly 15 years of that defining the fire super type, the fire attribute like style of deck construction.
And then Konami went, no, you know what fire is about? Level 1. So yeah, a good change, but required a lot of bullshit to get out of the way first. So yeah, Snake Eye Oak is, like I said, 900 attack, 200 defense. If this card's normal or special, target one of your level 1 fires it's banished from your graveyard. Either add it to your hand or special summon it, because fuck you. And also, you can send 2 face-up cards you control to the graveyard, including this card to special summon a Snake Eye from your hand deck, except Oak. So, yeah. Ash and Oak are just 2 face-up cards you control, period, including themselves. Birch is specifically the one that's a quick effect, but only during your opponent's turn. But all of them in some way have the ability to send themselves plus one other face-up card to search any or summon any Snake Eye from your hand or from your deck. And just keep it going. And then also they all have their own, core effects. So, the Big Bungulus. You may have heard this monster referred to as Flame Barf. Because
we love a good flamberge.
Yeah.
Flambe.
And boy howdy, I'm looking at the card art in detail, and this guy's big. This is a big guy.
Yeah, he definitely has some scale to him. I have not seen his art zoomed in. Oh my!
Yeah, well, when that renders out, yeah, you can see the pillars of the Temple of Sinful Spoils is currently being crushed under his fat ass. So, this guy's huge.
He's as huge as I think is like fucking. Go. Okay. He's as huge, I think, as Eternal Dragon.
Yeah.
My favorite part about this is with his wings spread out like that. He's like, "I'm awake."
I mean, yeah, basically. So the Flamberge Dragon is described as a massive dragon born from the sealed sinful spoil. Its appearance is ominous, and it does say that it resembles and contrasts to what it used to be like when it was the guardian deity of this land. It created underlings from the blue flames that dropped from its body. If a regular person fell victim to its gaze, they'd be unable to move an inch of their body. So there is a little bit of the Medusa-type vibes in there. They're talking about it formerly being a guardian deity, but yeah, it could be a basilisk. A lot of the same areas is where they touched on Evil Eye. Go, Axe.
I kind of get the Shinto vibe, kind of, where it's a deity forgotten and unworshipped will corrode into something dark and destructive.
Yeah, the Adamitama, the angry spirit kind of a thing. Yeah,
You
it's a
can
little
kind of
mad.
see it with like the it's not really gold, like the brownish like vines and tendrils that surrounded like the snake eye itself in the
Yeah.
temple are just sort of like feel like the corrupting essence of good old flame barf.
Mhm. And also, I mean, I don't know how literally they mean. It's the wiki listed as translated as its motherly sinful spoil, but Flamberge could be a lady.
Well, the motherly sinful spoil was referenced by the mooks, so I assume they just refer to this thing as like this.
Yeah.
This is the thing that all
Yeah.
all the tiny little snake eye mooks.
I mean, and yes, they do describe that like
Yeah.
this blue fire that's kind of like inside Flamberge's body, like drops off and becomes the little guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is another case where they did kind of the double speak in the OCG. They used both the Japanese is Jaga no Enryu, snake-eyed, snake eyes flame dragon, but they also literally translated as Snake Aizu Flamberge Dragon. So yes,
Hell
this
yeah.
is Snake Eyes Flamberge Dragon. This is a level 8 fire dragon. 3,000 attack, 2,500 defense. So, because this fights Diabell Star, this is a Blue Eyes. This is a
Yeah.
Blue Eyes type monster. And I think that like Konami was thinking about that because I'm pretty sure I know that MBT and several people joked about like 5 years of 25th anniversary. I mentioned this before. I think the 25th anniversary celebrations lasted so long because there was like a like 3 or 4 year difference between when TCG and OCG dropped. So the OCG started celebrating it, and they just kept celebrating it until we caught up.
I did see a joke about it that like realistically they could do a 25th anniversary for the next like from when it started for the next 5 years until we get to the 30th, and they can just do that again.
But I think that they were because the original 2 came out in 23. I think they probably were thinking about this in like anniversary year terms of like, oh yeah, let's make a little, we'll make a cool hot lady. She's the dark magician equivalent. She's got the stats, and then we've got a big fucking dragon. So Flamberge Dragon, like I said, 3K 25. Again, this is a Snake Eyes monster, so it is also a Snake Eye. So it is infinitely easier to summon on spawn than a Blue Eyes.
Yeah, this thing just hits the board for free.
Yeah.
It feels like.
Well, especially once they introduced Poplar, because that's the, summon Ash, search Poplar, summon Poplar, send both Flame Barf. But Flamberge Dragon also says, target one face-up monster on the field or in either graveyard, put in its owner's spell trap zone.
This is spell trap zone, fucker.
Put him in the zone. During your opponent's turn, quick effect, target a monster that's treated as a continuous spell, special summon it to your field. So this basically does the exact same thing as the temple. But also, this fucker floats. If this card's sent from the hand or field to the graveyard, special summon 2 level 1 fires from your graveyard. You can only use each effect once per turn.
Oh, from hand even? So
Yeah, no. So if you pitch this from hand to summon Diabell Star and you've got fires in your graveyard already, you're just resetting the whole ass combo.
That was a win, right? It was a win this card is sent?
Nope, if.
Cool.
No, these are all ifs, baby. This is all just out there. We've
evolved past the point of missing the timing.
This is just
except when it's really funny to do so.
Yeah, no. This card just this is why I think that like Danny and a couple other people started the Flame Barf Dragon meme, because like this is just a big asshole you don't want to see. Cuz it's 3K, it's a 3K beater. When it's like your opponent can just once per turn put your shit in the back row, which is like really hard to dodge. It is targeting, so you can protect against some, but it's just really annoying. And then also during your opponent's turn, if it gets summoned, which by the way, Birch can set up to quick summon this shit. You just steal a card from the back row or resummon one of your little guys if they're back there.
Also, God forbid you're in the mirror and you're able to steal your opponent's setup.
Oh my
Oh,
god, yeah,
fucking
then you
hell.
actually activate it. And then also the most annoying thing is if this card's sent to the from the hand or field, which again, not like destroyed, so even if it's sent as a back row monster, you get to extend, you get to summon 2 of your little guys back. And they can be
Yep.
any 2 little guys. So by the way, this means if you summon this asshole and link it off, infinite link material.
Infinite link material.
It just
Oh,
summons
hey, I got
back
my
2
tax
guys.
return. Nice. I'm rich, guys.
So yeah, no. This card is just a guy you don't want to
This
fucking
is
see.
Fucking these guys. Is it popular in what, like a 1 or 2 more Sinful Spoils?
Yeah. There's one more sinful
This
spoil
guy
card
has-
we're gonna talk about before we move on to bikers.
This guy has solved Link debt.
I mean, yeah, basically. And speaking of which, I will now pull up Poplar.
Poplar. I love and hate this little guy.
Okay, you beat me to it. I was about to say the exact same thing.
So this guy's really cool, but also he's really annoying. I will say I understand MBT and some of the others' confusion. I'm looking at its names. So they do the double name thing. So the Japanese name for this in the OCG, like the literal Japanese words, is Jaga no Enrin, Snake Eyes Flame Phosphorus, like fuel of flame. And then
I thought they called phosphor or something.
Well, no, because it also has an English style name, Snake Aizu Papurusu, so populus. Because guess what? The Latin name for poplar tree is populus. That's the genus of poplar trees. So it is one of those cases where, like, technically, like Axel, this is a little ambiguously named, but in context, it's very clearly meant to be poplar tree.
Another tree.
Yeah. Also, I guess this must be like Diabelle's little like witch lair, her little gamer desk.
She's got a lot of ancient tablets in her walls.
Yeah,
If we're going with the earlier theme of like the corrupted dragon, it's in its baby form, but uncorrupted. It's like, oh shit,
yeah. Basically,
I reverted back.
this is the sinful spoil without all the spoil. Just we're down to
I
being a
did-
little guy.
I did not notice the weird fucking split curved four-tail thing. What is that? What's going on there?
It's very plant.
Don't worry about it.
It's very plant-like. Don't worry about it.
Fire tree.
But yeah,
fire.
basically, in the context of the couple of sinful spoil spell traps we already saw, that this thing is what happened after Diabelle beat up Flamberge and captured the sinful spoil, and then this guy popped out. Also, fun fact: the reason why Poplar is pink is actually mentioned in its concept art. I wonder if I've got that
Ooh.
somewhere. But so its original color is supposed to be red, but by absorbing Diabelle's magical energy, which we saw from her art with her rings and
It is-
stuff,
Is
becomes
like a
pink.
like a dark pink, kind of
Yeah.
like almost magenta kind of color, I would
Yeah.
say.
So that's why Poplar is kind of a series of pinkish hues.
I like the general idea. Fucking Diabelle Star is like, okay, I've got the sinful spoil. Puts the like eye down, goes to sleep, wakes up. What the fuck happened?
Blah.
That
There's
is
nothing
full
going out
on
of it.
like one of the Digimon movies shit, where it's the like the first one in the Digimon the movie. I don't know the actual like I don't know the regular names. I just know them from the Digimon movie where they just
Pokemon has gone to sleep, and you've got Agumon when you wake up.
yeah. I just know they took like 3 or 4 TV specials and just Frankenstein them together to try to make something out of it, and it's just incomprehensible in hindsight.
I like it.
I mean, it's a fun movie because it's just shit happening, and that's what kids want to see.
Yeah.
So what does this little guy do, Omega?
Well,
Was-
this guy defined like what we think of about Yu-Gi-Oh cards now. This is a level 1 Fire Pyro, only 700 attack, but also has 200 defense, so this one is also rekindleable. Cool, great. If this
Why
card's
not?
added to your hand except drawing it, special summon this fucker.
Oh, cool.
If this card is normal or special, add a Snake Eye spell trap from your deck to your hand. If this card's sent to the graveyard, if this card's sent to the graveyard, target 1 fire in your graveyard, put it in your spell trap zone as a continuous spell.
Oh, he's recovery as well. He does everything. He's everything.
You can only use each effect once per turn, but yes. So if you search
That's
this
still,
card,
that's still 3 effects in one
if
card.
If you search this card, you summon it. So you can do that by using Ash or by using Bonfire, which adds a Pyro. Or I believe there are several other ways to add a level 1 fire to your hand. Adding it back to your hand from your graveyard, by the way, counts. Just add it to your hand, except by drawing it. So long as it's not draw phase, you can special it when it's normal or special. So, by the way, if you start with Poplar in your grip, it's still live because you could still normal it. Add a Snake Eye spell.
I mean, technically Omega. It just says except by drawing it, not during the draw phase. So you could add this guy during the draw phase. And then
it's true. If you could, I'm just saying is that like so long as you don't scoop it like start of draw phase.
Yeah.
You know, it's live. Also, kind of like goes like. That's another thing that I think really opened up this deck's design space is because you don't want to draw Poplar by card effect, like you want to search it. Snake Eyes decks don't play pots, like they don't really play like Extrav or Prospe or anything like that.
Yeah, they did a pretty good job at They did a pretty good job while still making this like archetype ridiculously powerful. They did find a way to sort of build into the archetype a restriction of sorts around all of the whack-ass like superpowered draw cards.
Yeah, and I think like honestly, it did actually like nobody. I don't think I heard a lot of people saying out loud, "Oh, well, you don't want to play Prosperity because you want to draw you don't want to draw Poplar." But I think it did start to change people's deck building subtly, and they just go, well, do I really want to draw 2, or do I want to add search spells, you know? And there are several ways to get this. The tips package, like, literally lists so many of them. The big ones are obviously, like, Snake Eye, Ash, or Bonfire, but you can summon it out with Oak or Birch as well. You can skip the add step. If you're playing 4s, you can play Infernal Flame Banshee, detach material, add a Pyro to your hand. The extra special Hita works.
Oh right.
Like your different Hitas can do that. Also, just like I said, it's also still level 1, so it's still a 1-for-1 target.
Still it's a 1-for-1 OSS target. Like there's just nothing wrong with this.
Yeah. And then, like I said, once again, the goddamn gall this guy has to have a fucking, like, not only does it search on special summon for any Snake Eye spell trap, of which there are a few. We've talked about most of them, but that does mean, like I said, that you've got OSS counts, Subversion counts, which is really annoying, and Temple counts. And then, by the way, you could search Temple and place Temple, because Temple lets you summon out guys that are in your back row. And guess what Poplar does? When you send Poplar, as if you're, linking it off or something, then you can take any 1 fire in your graveyard, put it in your spell trap zone. Put them in your back row for later. It's just, again, there is a reason why, even though it's only, like, this card came out like a year ago, that now everybody just says, oh, everybody gets a Poplar, when they're like, oh, if this card's added to your hand except by drawing, special it. We're just like, yeah, that's just what Poplar does.
Yeah. It defined a type of thing.
And one more of the cards, which is a little prior in our timeline, but is a specifically Snake Eyes spell trap. So it's also searchable off Poplar. Is the Startling Stare of the Snake Eyes. This is another case where the localization team went for alliteration. It's better. The Japanese name of this was Ruling Stare of Snake Eyes. but I like Startling Stare.
Hmm.
And once again, chat, this one just rips. This one's sick as hell.
Oh hell yeah! It's like the full on. This is the like first arc. Like this is the like finale, like the first arc. Basically, just like this big ass face off.
This
Yeah.
feels like this feels like this feels like the ending shot of an episode or like the cover of a manga.
Yeah, no, it's got those vibes. So you see her wielding her kind of magenta-y magic. She's got her knife, and this big old dragon is bearing down. It's a real cool shot.
I love the coattail hand also looking like, no, give me the knife. I can take him. No, but nah, good stuff.
So what this card does, this is a normal spell trap, or normal trap, I should say. If the total levels of Snake Eye monsters you control are 2 or higher. So if you have 2 Snake Eyes, like Snake Eyes, the dice, activate one of these effects. Target a face-up monster your opponent controls in their graveyard, put it in the spell trap zone. Target a monster card treated as a continuous spell, summon it to your field.
The backrooms of Yi, and then also be like, not for me.
Yeah. So just, I don't think Startling Stare was as popular as the others because it is a normal trap, and this normal traps obviously are quote unquote good now. Like there are decks that make them very useful. Labyrinth was very powerful for quite a while, but they are still slower. But if you run out of Snake Eyes to search, Poplar can search this among many other things, and it's flexible because it means so long as you control, at least 2 normal Snake Eyes or a big Snake Eye if you've got Flamberge, you can once again put him in the back row on your opponent's turn or summon out something in the back row. Like, it's just more recursion, more extension, and putting guys in your back row is just really fucking annoying.
Yeah, I mean it's.
Oh, sorry.
I know. I remember it was the What was it? The voiceless voice, kind of like. I'm certain there were cards that did it before voiceless voice, but voiceless voice was sort of like the deck that made it a thing. Everyone kind of realized, oh, this is really just kind of impossible to stop. Like it's just a kind of removal interaction that is not like hard coded into the game as like there's protection from it aside from just blanket protection from effects.
Yeah, from targeting. Yeah.
So
And even then, some of these, like I don't think the voiceless cards targeted. They just did it. It's crazy.
So one thing that's really extra awful, if you're like me and like to try to play pendulum decks, is if they put a monster as a continuous spell in your pendulum zone.
Yeah, no, that's just another way that like Pendulum kind of gets dunked on, sadly, because you can just put him back there.
And it doesn't count, yeah.
All right. So let's see. How long have we been going? Only about an hour and a half, so we can probably do Goblin Bikers. Let's do what I like to call a preview of next up on. The card we're going to show is called Dramatic Snake Eye Chase. So this is another Snake Eye spell trap you can search off Poplar.
This one.
And yeah, when you see it in full, this is a great art. This is why I say it's a preview of coming up. This is the roundabout of Diabel. Also, hey, we haven't mentioned it at all, but we should because I think we're the quartet for that. But hey, the Steel Ball run is real.
Also, this is an ending credit shot.
Yeah, I know.
I love that like some of the bikers are just going flying and just the one guy's like, oh fuck.
She's so fucking mad.
Yeah, she's
Honestly,
like, you better give me that fucking rat back.
Honestly, I feel like, as should by her poster, I feel like the thing is just like when she's annoyed, she just makes very ugly faces without trying.
Yeah.
I think she just has angry bitch face.
Yeah, she does.
Well, to be
but I
fair,
do love that
she went through. After the fight she went through to get Poplar, and then it's like, oh, these goblins are trying to steal my shit.
Yeah. So that's Big Gabonga holding Poplar, I believe. You can see Clatter Sploder back there. I don't know which goblin she's got in a fucking headlock, and I don't think it's a normal goblin biker card because I think they're dead now. Like,
Where's the token female one? Because like usually that one's always looking cool.
that might be her in the back, yeah. Miss
I will
Marshall,
say, Big
like...
Gaga looks fucking scared out of his life.
Yeah, no. This is the meme of at that moment he knew he fucked up. And I think, by the way, that's just like weird squiggly speak for like sleep. I think Poplar's just taking a nap. Like down here, there's.
I love the joke of like I think it's like some of the naval for like it's badass goblin bikers. They think goblin bikers gone wild, which I think is worse, honestly.
They have some great names. But so this is a card that is kind of like the setup for our next arc, like I said. So this is a Snake Eye spell trap, which you can search then off Poplar, which says, place a Diabell Star monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard face up in its owner's spell trap zone as a continuous trap. During the end phase, banish the card to your graveyard, target a monster, and you're treated as a continuous spell that you control. Summon it. You use each effect of Dramatic Chase once per turn. So basically, the way this is supposed to work is this puts a Diabell in your back row and then summons it out.
I will say as a side thing, I think this still goes to my take that I feel most Diabell stuff could be done in like 20 minutes or 2 episodes of an anime.
Yeah, like I said before,
each arc feels like it just be an episode or 2.
How long they'll do it? We will see. They're not doing it yet, obviously, but I guess we need to see what their format is.
And obviously, this is in a city because I can see some square buildings in the background.
Yes, the underground city,
yeah,
which they will show about. So let's talk a little bit about Goblin Bikers. So Goblin Bikers, they are goblins. That should be a future episode we should do, is talk about all the cards that are goblins, but that would make this episode super giga mega long.
We will talk about the immense goblin army later.
Yeah. But Goblin Bikers, which in the OCG are Goburin Raida, and I do kind of like the biker change. That's good. But they are also the subtype of goblin, so they can search some goblins in there. They
also,
are kind of gremlin-y.
People. I've also been told multiple times that you're able to make I would say not cold fusion but like warm fusion.
Basically, Goblin Bikers are... I mean, it took a while for them to be appreciated, but Big Gabunga just won a fucking YCS, like, last weekend, or technically 2 weekends ago now.
Like, yeah, you could do, like, actual Atomic Theory.
These guys were always good, but they weren't as spiced, they weren't as overtuned as the Diabell Star Snake Eyes loop was. But these are really good cards that are like, finally, after getting all their support, kind of, like, showing off. But the funny thing about Goblin Bikers is the Goblin Rider is obviously pronounced Goburin Raida, but it has kanji in it, which include the phrase Hakiyagyo, which means they reference the Night Parade of 100 Demons.
That's why they're wearing masks.
Yeah, so they are like... so they have like, and the other half is because it's Hyaki Asetsu, which is taken as in Akirai Setsu, which just is a generic term for like Rakshasa and other demonic beings. So, you know, they are like literally, they're called Goblin Riders, but they are also the 100 Demons, blah, blah, blah. So great use of it. And so
the 100 Demon Gang.
Let's pull up the first one, which will be Doug Charger.
I got back just in time for Doug.
Yeah.
Doug.
Who, by the way, they do have to change some of these names in the localization because the OCG is like, for a Japanese style game, kind of edgy about these guys.
I mean, Japanese biker culture is like a whole thing.
It's true. And Bokuzuki, yeah,
Bosuzuki.
Yeah, it's got a couple consonants in there. Yeah, that's kind of like a very important thing, and like a lot of that was like feeds into like Yakuza culture as well. Like biker gangs go into like Yakuza level stuff as well.
But I learned about it from Dangan Rampa because one of the characters is like He's
That'd
he's
be a
just
good
the Bosozoku like archetype. But for some reason, he was always translated as a 1%er, and that might just be like a very bizarre cultural thing that just does not translate because I have no clue why
Yeah, I mean, I
bikers
guess
would
if
be
the
called
idea
the
was like,
1%.
if was he like a rich kid playing it, being like
No,
a
not at
young
all.
No.
punk?
No, like
Okay, that's really
No, he was a
weird.
not,
punk
he,
punk.
he was not at all like rich or anything. He was just a punk through and through. But I guess it was just like a cultural translation thing where is kind of like what something like that would translate to. But in English in the West, that's a very completely different
Yeah.
meaning of that term.
Speaking of
Also, mega-
translations for the West, Doug Charger in the OCG is known as Toko Dagu, which means suicide attack Doug.
Yeah.
For real, that sounds like that sounds like a nickname you'd give a biker dude in a gang.
Yeah, but also
I mean,
we went
he's-
with Doug
Look what he's
Charger.
writing.
No, this is great, by the way. I love everything about this. This is, first of all, this is literally a gremlin from Gremlins. But he's
amazed
also
not
writing.
called-
Good.
I'm amazed he's not called Death Charge Doug.
Yeah,
Well, we can't say that.
I mean, we might be able to these days, but I think just Doug Charger works
He's writing the bull from Reckless Attack or whatever that's quick play spell was.
much recklessly.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's got an attack boar, which is great. And the boar's got like
And
a
a biker
fucking
helmet.
headlight in its. Yeah, he's wearing a biker helmet, or actually, not even a biker helmet. The front of this
The bike-
boar just is a bike.
It's got the biker grid on it. Yeah.
So it's got like the windshield, and then
Also-
it's got a headlight.
I guess it's a weird thing to tell you. Just as a thing you said earlier. Bikers are like less kind of Yakuza, and more connected to skin games, bearskin gangs, which is a whole other thing.
Well, I mean, now actually, like the Bosuzuku like subculture is like very small in Japan itself, but it was a thing where like if you were Yakuza, you could rustle up some local biker kids to cause havoc for you, and sometimes you would.
They were basically your little hired hands.
And occasionally those, because it is usually a youth subculture with Bosuzuku, occasionally your little biker boys would level up into Yakuza brothers when they grew up. But, you know, it's a thing that's, like, kind of outdated, but also, like, still in the subculture. This guy also is very Bosuzuku because he's got the flags, too. Because that's another thing about Bosuzuku is the, like, really, really decorated bikes. Oh, this guy's a little high in the frame. So let me bring him down there and change the text box.
But no, in terms of style and look, nothing bad to say about this guy.
No, it's great.
I like the little step ladders he has off to the side to make sure he can get onto his ride.
Yeah, he's a small little dude.
Yeah. So much like actual non-biker goblins, the goblin bikers are kind of a mix of warriors and fiends. I think they're mostly earths. This, by the way, is a thing that when we get to next week's episode will continue to bamboozle me. So as Amina's chat, spoilers, they're fusion guys, right? The monsters they want are going to involve light spellcasters for obvious reasons and illusion monsters for obvious reasons, but also fiends who maybe are supposed to be level 6 or higher. Fiendsmith is not directly involved with the D-Bell Star lore, but I think they were trying really hard because you can't play level 6 fiends in a Diabell deck. I think the only good target that's a level 6 fiend is like Goblin's Crazy Beast, who doesn't have any fucking synergy. So yeah, I'll get to yell about that later, but these guys, like I said, are kind of like all over the place as warriors and fiends, but they're mostly 3s with a little bit of 6-axis stuff. Doug Charger here is a level 3 Earth Warrior with 1600 attack and 0 defense. If this card's in your hand, detach an Xyz material from a monster on either field, summon this fucker. If this card's normal or special summoned, add a Goblin Biker spell trap from your deck to your hand. You can only use each effect once per turn. That's right, this guy detaches for basically to summon himself, which can be good to extend for yourself, but also if you're going second, can be really annoying. Those are some cool materials you have on your detonator, bud. No, you don't. Don't have them anymore. They're gone. Now we have Doug. But yeah, pretty typical guy. He can search a spell trap. Ah, yes, I was right. These guys are kind of over the place in attributes as well. Oh, actually, no. Okay, so this next one's a Beast Warrior. So they're all different attributes. Or different types as well. Because our next boy is going to be, I think boy anyway. There is one that's definitely a chick. There's a token girl in the gang. But our next one is going to be the lovely named. Let me check how that's framed. Yeah. Goblin Biker Clatter Sploder. Which
I
the
can only
OCG
imagine
name is
how
100
edgy-
Demons Roaring Clatter.
Like, that one's not really
Okay, no-
that one's not really easy to translate unless you're literally going direct.
Not as easy to translate, but also not as bad as I thought it was going to be. This is the guy you see fucking stacked in the chase picture. His bird is all the way in the back, and he's like in the front going, "Oh fuck!"
He's got like a
with his hands up.
chocobo.
Yeah. Got a little chocobo, got a little loudspeaker on it, you know. I do like that the talking about like biker culture, the chocobo has like the fucking leather cap and goggles.
I will say in
Well,
the Mad Max sequence that is fucking like this would be happening. He's the guy on the guitar.
The speakers on the on the back of the bike in this case is also a kind of like trope you see in a lot of like super stereotypical Bosozoku styles. Like,
Well,
like
yeah.
you will sometimes have guys who just like they have this super high like seat and like they'll have like speakers coming off
Yeah,
of that.
he's got the subwoofer system. He also does though have like literally a loudspeaker around the chocobo's neck down there.
I appreciate the dumbass exhaust coming out of the exhaust pipes coming out of the hat.
Yeah, no, it's got exhaust pipes. He's summoning little bombs. Like this is Axe is correct. This is that one guy with the fire guitar in Mad Max. Why is
Or
he
in this
there?
case, I think
don't
it's
know.
more. I think it's more of like the guy like grabs a mic from his thing and he screams into it and it shoots light beams out of the fucking speakers and the fucking bits he's got around him.
Honestly, I think
Also-
the speakers summon bombs.
Minor detail. I love that with the detail, like the pattern on the wings, has turned into flames on the exhaust pipes.
Yeah.
It makes it go
is
faster.
Nice aesthetic touches. Also, the like of our little chocobo pal, the entire motif is yellow and blue, and I like you can see that peppered through everything, even down to the damn like
I love blue and orange.
eye
Yeah.
goggles he's got. Like even the eye goggles, it's yellow and blue as like the big color motif. It's a very good like palette control here.
I guess I see it. It's like it's blue and orange, which are good contrast colors, and there's yellow in between just to pop it a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got a gradient.
I also love the minor detail, just the I don't know what it would be called, but like the protector on like at the base of its like ankle, wherever that would be, protect that part from getting like scrunched.
Yeah, and I actually think that's modeled after like the protective gear you put on like a bird of prey. Like you can get them little like booties and protectors.
I honestly, it just feels like. No, I like to think. I think for at least half of the bikers, they really care about their mounts.
I mean, it makes
Yeah.
sense.
I think
What
some
kind
of
of
them
biker
maybe
would
don't.
not care about his ride?
That's fair. I think some of them maybe don't, but I think it's more just depending on because how like reckless they are. But that's different.
So Clatter Sploder is a level 3 fire beast warrior, 1500 attack, 0 defense. If this card's normal or special, target a goblin in your graveyard except Clatter Sploder, special summon it. So once again, this is one of the first cards that bridges, like, Goblin Bikers obviously are their own self-contained archetype, but you can also play any non-biker goblins who are good in this deck. I don't think there are actually that many, but you can do it.
But I'm hoping for we ever get to see an animated sequence of Debo start chasing these guys, and she's like being dragged by one, or she has to like get some way to like get bigger to get faster, or like there's something crazy where she has to like get to
She
them
could
and
just
she's
use-
jumping between all of them to get to Big Kapunka.
So many cameos
Yeah.
are possible, yeah.
There's many ways they can do it. Let's hope they do it correctly. Anything else about this guy? What he does?
Sorry about that.
Yeah, there's more. During your opponent's main phase, if it's in your graveyard, quick effect, detach an Xyz from a material on the material from a monster on the field. Special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. So, you can see now that basically the Goblin Bikers will usually involve some kind of condition where there's a place where they can special summon themselves by detaching an Xyz material from either field, and also then they have effects when specialed or normal and specialed, etc.
Sorry, did you say detach or attach?
Detach.
Okay, I
From
thought
either
you
field.
said I thought his effect was attach a material, summon this guy back. I was like, that's crazy.
No, because it doesn't specify when, or rather
Yeah.
where it would be attaching. But
So my bad, but yeah, no, these guys are the Xyz of the whole Dia Bellstar-ish story.
Yep.
Kind of out of place, but when you think about it, I guess they're meant to be out of place.
Isn't the Xyz just like all of them?
No, there's a couple. They actually have like three.
I think
but
it's
yeah.
like a formation.
No, that's what I mean. Like the Xyz is just a bunch of the goblins.
So, like I said,
together.
there's three Xyz. There's Big Gabonga, who is the boss. There's Gone Bonkers, which is just all of them. And then there's like Troika Girare, which I think is just like, I think in the valuable book they're called the hidden MVPs. They're just like they're the one competent team of guys in the gang. Basically, is what they're described. We'll see them in a second.
They're the Ginyu Force.
Well, it's funny you say that because we do have a purple guy coming up. Because our next
Sorry,
one
did
is
you actually say Ginyu Force as well?
Goblin
Oh,
Biker
we had it
Boom
at the same
Mock.
time.
The Ginyus had a pretty good record until Goku showed up.
So
Yeah,
we
like-
did say Ginyu Force at the same time. Sorry.
Nah, I mean, look, it's funny. We we don't often have a mind mode like that on these streams.
Look at that fucking scarf.
Oh, that's awesome. This guy looks.
Yeah.
Both the goblin and the bike look fucking rad.
Oh,
Ironically,
this, the fucking
I know,
giant doggo. Sorry, it's wearing body armor that looks like a big wheel from the front. That's great.
Yeah.
That's
This
awesome,
cat
man.
is wearing a tire as its armor.
My God, besides how I really like an orc, I like orc racing game. But Goblin Biker racing game sounds fucking cool.
Well, Konami
where
made
is
at
it?
least one racing game, kind of, because they made
This
the
guy is
dual
just
version
Waluigi.
That was Bloodborne cart, right?
thing.
Well, it's not called that anymore. Nightmare Cart now.
But yeah, this, as I mentioned before, is Goblin Biker Boom Mock or 100 Demons Godspeed Boon.
Godspeed, boom.
But
The
Boom
lightning
Mock, I
motif
think,
makes
works
more
better.
sense now.
Yeah,
Vroom, vroom.
he is Mock or Boom Mock.
Also, small detail: the cat's tail looks like it ends on a plug or amp plug-in thing.
Yep. No, he's human. I also like that he's got like it's pink, but he's got like one of those high-backed chairs we talked about, but it's got like a tiger stripe on it.
Oh, it does.
I think the scarf's just great.
The
It's
scarf
fucking
is great.
huge.
Yeah, it's so long.
Also, I have no idea how like the handlebars control the thing, but it's funny.
You just push and pull, baby. Boom Mock is a Wind Warrior level 3.
I mean, it's lightning,
1300
so yeah.
attack, 0 defense. Once per chain during the main phase, if this card's in your hand or graveyard, quick effect, detach an Xyz material, summon this card. You can't special summon Boom Mock until the end of the next turn. So it's got a very long line, but this guy is just he has no on summon effect. He's just a very easy extender because just during the main phase, once per chain, you can quick effect from hand or grave, detach and summon. So he's a
To me,
flex
it's
slot.
like, to me, he's like the dude's like he's gonna break up formation or like he's just gonna fucking race up onto frame and then just be like, okay, he's here now, I guess.
Yeah.
So, I wasn't really sure, like, when I heard the word Goblin Biker when this stuff was coming out. Seeing the art like this, I'm like, okay, maybe I should give these guys a try.
Aesthetically,
Deck
they're
is good.
cool. I I don't personally like the style a lot. Like I said, the deck is mostly just rank 3 turbo. Like
It's mostly learning how to do rank 3 stuff and then
Yeah.
learning how to make Cold Fusion of rank 3 somehow.
Well, I learned how to play Pendulum and it became one of my favorite
yeah.
archetypes. Anyway.
Yeah. But no, these are all like really fun and very distinct. So next we have, as mentioned before, the woman. This is Goblin Biker Mean Merciless. 100 Demons Merciless Meanda. I think Mean Merciless makes much better.
Oh,
than
they're
calling her
they're
Meanda.
afraid of 100 demons?
Yeah. Sorry, you stepped out for that, but yeah, they are the
Hell yeah!
the
I fucking
forced
love that
Japanese reading is it's their name is
Hyakko,
Hyakira
I
Setso. So it's a portmanteau of the characters from Thousand Parade and just the generic word for Rakshasa. So yeah, no, they are the 100 demons.
So
Hell yeah.
immediate first
100
thought that I find hilarious. It's a mouse goblin riding a giant snake.
Yes, she's got
And
like
she's got
mouse ear
literally all-
gremlin.
like the rest. I guess it's more of like they're not goblins, they're more like goblinoids because they're all like kind of varied. Like,
Yeah,
very
they're
varied.
all very very gremlin-y, but yeah. She's
it's like,
got very big
she's got-
hands.
She's got a thorn whip. She's got the big giant tunnel snake.
She's wearing her coat, her jacket like a cape.
Yeah, this is
I
like
think-
she's got kind of like the kind of like girl Boncho vibes because her top is like a weird wrap,
Yeah,
tiny
I
tiny
kinda
skirt,
knew.
fishnets,
I-
or a fishnet. Sorry, then tattoos on the other side, and all of
She's
this
got the
with,
whole femme fatale thing going on too.
all
'cause
of this
just
was
got
she's
snake
still
thing.
wearing the stupid goblin mask, so you can't actually see her face other than that. I think all the teeth are her actual teeth.
Yeah, like the mask shows like her mouth from this angle, but even then, like you can't get any real vibe on the face.
But it
Also,
probably
this
doesn't matter
snake
because she is a baddie.
Also, in
This
every
snake looks
other,
like suffering.
also she has dagger knives on the front of her heels.
Yeah. The snake is covered in little heart graffitis. No. And this
Also,
one is
she has
also in the
there's
city.
armor plating. There's armor plating like as of each of the 3 eyes of the snake are like protected like their headlights.
Yeah. I know. It's great.
It's such a good design.
But yeah, this is Mean
Sorry,
Merciless.
dude.
She is
Also, I
a
think there's a bit.
Good.
I also think there's a bit that like every other artwork has her in it. She's always the one that looks cool. Everyone else is eating shit.
I mean, makes sense. She is the cool one. They call her Mean Merciless.
Yeah. Makes
So
thematic sense.
I should say, since we've talked about a couple, these guys are described as a band of outlaws bound by a code of blood. They're a biker gang.
Yeah, they're like- they would never
they
betray each
live
other.
in the underground city. They're goblins from all walks of life, following their leader Gabonga.
Gabonga.
They tamed magical beasts so that they could spend days customizing their favorite ride. They do act for money, and also actually something that is new, something that wouldn't be clear before. But these guys are apparently Diabelle's sworn rivals because it says in the valuable book they've tried countless times to challenge her for the bounty on their head, only to be beaten to a pulp.
Okay, so if there was an OP, there would be a bit of the goblins trying to ambush her. She just
Yes.
kicks all their asses.
They have
It's them
given
setting
so
up the
they
ambush and then.
Good.
Sorry. It's them setting up the ambush and then smash cut to Diabelle start kicking their ass.
yeah. So it even says they've given up trying to defeat her. Now they just try and steal the shit she steals. So
God,
yeah,
that
they
feels like
they
a
are
5-minute
her cartoonish rivals.
God, I would
Oh,
love
so
a
two-
5-minute. I would love a fucking 2 to 3 minute to 5-minute flashback of just her them showing just a montage of all the times they tried to beat her and just fucking giving up at the point.
So Team
Yeah.
Rocket.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but like the sexism.
But yeah, so there's no specific lore on the individual members, but like I said, they are a
The
biker
feel of
gang.
it.
They're bound by blood. So Mean Merciless is a water fiend, level 3,
Poison.
Ooh,
Yeah,
1400
water, yeah.
attack, 0
Hey.
defense. If this card's normal or specialed, special a goblin from your hand, except Mean Merciless. During your main
Ambush.
phase, if it's in your graveyard, detach 1 Xyz material. If you do, special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. You can only use each effect once per turn. So yeah, these core 4 are just the loop of All of them have a way to special summon themselves by detaching a material, and then most of them do something. Boom Mock is a quick effect to do it, which can be very useful. Mean Merciless summons a goblin from your hand. Doug searches a spell trap, and Clatter Sploder, whatchamacallit, summons a guy from grave. So, all of them have kind of like roles and parts to play in this setup. But then we have our first case of them, the names being very funny. Because they do have a montage shot. This is the main deck card. Goblin Bikers Gone Wild, a.k.a. Bado Aso Goblin Bikers.
Badatos Gababaga.
Which the Japanese name is 100 Demons of Heaven and Earth.
Hell yeah!
Tenjo Tenge.
Okay. I feel like if this was animated, I feel like there'd be a bit where all of them just yell this at the same fucking time as they go into like a formation to like run the fuck away.
Yes, absolutely. Also, actually, so what's the...
It's time for the Goblin Secret Technique.
I love that even though a lot of them aren't even on any rides, just in the back you see one guy on like a little draw mole.
Look, Merciless is just chilling.
Quote unquote, this is the censored art. I think they just like literally added a couple of pixels to Merciless's skirt. There's like I cannot otherwise sense the differences between the two card arts.
Yeah, it's
yeah, they turn her skirt to like hot pants, basically.
Yeah,
they made it
but
look like she's
it
actually wearing
really
pants,
doesn't matter. But yeah, so this is the fucking team shot. It's they're so cool. They're
And
looking
I'm guessing
rad.
the one in the middle is Big Gabonga.
Yeah, that's Big Gabonga. We haven't seen him yet because he lives in the extra deck, but that's him. He's got the flag. He's raising it. They're on top of his ride.
There is just a random guy in the back.
With like the giant, like with like a drill bowl thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a little mole man, and then you've got all the main ones doing
He's
the team
he's
shot.
writing what Drill Void is based off of.
Where are they exploding? Like, I mean, I guess the Star knows mole. Like, where are they exploding anyway?
I mean, it's a team shot, so the explosion just happened.
That's fair.
Like,
basically,
the explosion happens. They all strike this pose. Then they do the screen freeze, and they say, "Tenjo Tenge Hyakuretsu," and then just the characters appear on the screen.
You should know like the most about this, Axe.
I mean,
like,
I do, but like I was imaging the dumb bit of like BL stars in the explosion, and she's just not amused.
She might be back there, but she might be in front. I'm not actually sure. So this, like I said, is Goblin Bikers Gone Wild, which is a great way for them to translate badass Goblin Bikers. They're really trying. This is
they're trying to avoid the say ass.
Dark Fiend, level 6, 2400 attack, 0 defense. If you control no monsters or all monsters you control are goblins, you can normal summon without tributing. And then you can use each of the following effects once per turn. Yeah. If this card's normal or special summon 1 level 4 or lower goblin from your deck. If this card's sent to the graveyard, target a card on the field, attach it to a Goblin Xyz monster you control.
It's the roll call, yeah.
Slurp those fuckers
like,
up.
Information. Get information.
Yeah. No, this is great. This is the thing that is beautiful about Goblin Bikers. I don't actually know if you play non-biker goblins in the deck, but you could, so you can just play any goblin that's good.
Also, I enjoy this. I think we'll get to it because the Xyz card, but I always like the Xyz idea where it's basically every exotic under him is basically all the bikers going behind giving Kabanga information.
Yeah, they form the
like
parade.
It's honestly, it's honestly, I did not know that the bikers were the 100 demons. That's actually a really sick like way to kind of, I don't even want to say modernize because they're goblins riding like animals just designed to look like motorbikes, but
a way to spin it.
Yeah.
Whoever like put together this series of ideas, they deserve a raise. This is wicked.
Yeah, these are super cool. And now we're going to open up the extra deck. First, we have the Goblin's Crazy Beast.
I think that's the thing they're like running away on right now.
Yes, in Badass they were on top of it. So the Crazy Beast is a weird monster thing. Probably a reference to DD Crazy Beast, obviously, because that's the card that is ridden by DD Trainer, who is also the Coach Goblin. Like, it's an old school lore joke.
It-
Um,
It's got the whole thing of they also lock it up, which means I guess they have some way to control it. I
Oh.
guess via the lock mechanisms.
so Big Gabonga can control it somehow. And then we don't actually ever see what it's called, but apparently, according to the lore, Gabonga did at least steal one Sinful Spoils out from under Diabel. That is called Sinful Spoils Itheon. Itheon is a Greek word meaning burning or blazing. That the Crazy Beast eventually eats. But yeah, so this is their largest, scariest mount. Big horns, all that kind of stuff. And if this silhouette looks familiar, chat, it's because this guy is gonna go through a lot of shit. We're gonna see him a lot.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, wait a second. I'm getting weird flash forwards to another card.
Big Paganga
But
has this guy fight a lot of things.
Crazy Beast is a Dark Fiend rank 6, 2700 attack, 0 defense, 2+ level 6 monsters.
To Doug, this is just a normal beast. Right?
Yeah. Once per turn, quick effect. Target a spell trap on the field. Detach 2 materials from monsters on your side of the field. Just any monsters, you can attach 2 materials. If you do, attach that spell trap to this card. Just eat spell traps. If a monsters you control would be
cards you Sinful Spoiled.
True. If a monsters you control would be destroyed by a card effect, attach 1 material from this card instead. If this card's in your graveyard, you can special summon this card, then attach a goblin monster from your graveyard to this card as material. You can only use this effect of Crazy Beast once per duel. So it eats back row. You can detach to protect, and then once per duel, this guy comes back dramatically. So again, very, very solid card.
Makes me know there has to be a bit of like Diablo Star gets Poplar back, and this thing fucking pops out of the ground.
Hey, listen. We're gonna talk about a few things, but now it's time to talk about the actual Goblin Biker, the big boy, the man, the myth, the legend.
The biggest.
Our favorite boy. He's just too powerful.
Oh, if you've never seen him up close too, you're gonna love this guy, Chad. It's Goblin Biker, Big Gabonga.
I'm so excited.
Which is one of the few names that they didn't have to do almost anything to. He is Big Head Gabonga in the OCG. I think just making him Big Gabonga fucking works.
I feel like all the people say he's the biggest of us all. He's the biggest.
Oh my god, they gave his mount the pompadour.
Yes.
I love it.
His mount also it's a small saber cat, but it's got a pompadour.
Oh my god, he's
Hell
so
yeah.
top-heavy.
I also think he's got a pompadour at the back. No, he's just got the curve of his chair, just fucking thing.
No, he's wearing a coat.
He's got everything else.
Oh yeah, the coat's just billowing.
Yeah,
his proportions is built like a One Piece character.
Yeah, he's a Dorito also. Like, he's got tiny little legs, huge fucking shoulders.
I mean, it works. It's like
his hair is fire.
Omega, it's like the Wheel of Fortune in Part 3.
Oh my god, he has one little. You're right. He has one skinny arm and one big arm. No, he actually has 2 big arms, but yeah, it is a lot like that.
He's just torso.
Yeah, he's all torso. He's wearing like a super long tie that's like coming out the side of his coat. His coat is huge.
It's got a bunch of thread. Yeah.
He's fucking ripped. He has a scar. His fingers are covered in rings.
He's got 9 headlights.
Yeah, this guy rules.
He's got lights everywhere.
This guy is the coolest and the biggest.
He's just got everything.
He's got One Piece cool where he's just ridiculous, but it's awesome.
I mean, legitimately, I saw this guy and immediately I'm like, oh, it's Daifuku. Like the body type of aesthetic going on with this guy.
His name is not the Japanese version of his name isn't quite as impressive, but it's very literal. He is 100 Demons Kyokai Gabonga, 100 Demons Leader Gabonga. So you know he's the leader of the pack. But I love just the English on his fucking
Also look
name.
at his bling. Look at his bling and like how
Yeah.
like fucking furred all of his fucking wrists are.
But no, like his literal furigana name is Goblin Rider Bigo Hedo Gabonga. I love this.
Also, I think
guy.
his hair is fire.
Yeah, no, his hair is definitely fire. I would, or it's like super bleach tips, but it's like no, this man deserves everything.
It
Also-
looks like
Yeah,
he's
that
also
feels like
just
fire.
Also looks like he's just put fucking engines on the like shoulders of his
And on
cat.
and the back of the cat too.
Yeah, the rear legs as well.
Yeah,
But yeah,
no,
also
does-
I noticed the guy's not wearing a shirt.
correct.
No,
Yes.
he's wearing a coat.
Yeah, he's
but,
wearing a
the-
coat and no shirt under.
but-
You can see that's all skin there down there, baby.
He's
The
just, like,
hair,
he's very deep crimson colored.
His hair does kind of have like the same color aesthetic of of Flamberge and like the Simple Spoils, so maybe that's like
Oh, wait, 'cause
just
he got
a little
poppers like that. Yeah.
a little shout out to kind of like the Gabonga having a Simple Spoil or something.
Yeah, I guess that's probably the sign. Yeah. So Big Gabonga is a light beast warrior, rank 3. Hence why
Gets
he's
so
covered
many
in
lights.
headlights. He's got 2100 attack and 0 defense. I think all of the goblin bikers have 0 defense. It makes sense because
I mean that's a staple of goblins.
low defense
Because
yeah.
like listen, when goblins are attack mode, they are asleep. That's actually the staple thing. When they're or I think in this edition, these guys are in a fucking road pile if they're in defense mode. Like because I think they've I feel like if you animate air goblins in an anime, their defense mode would be them crashing out into the ground and having to pick up their bike.
Where was I? Right, generic. 2 level 3s. If this card is Ixie summoned, add a goblin from your deck to your hand. A goblin monster, I should say, but add a
Just
goblin
keep
from your deck to
going.
your hand. If materials detached from monster on the field, except during the damage step, target a face-up monster on the field except this card. Attach that fucker as material. Slurp him up.
Steal the poplar. Steal that poplar.
He's yours now. That thing, that's yours.
Yeah.
He's yours now.
During the end phase, attach a goblin from your deck to this card as material. Just get a material back.
Visually, that just makes me feel like it's like he appears, he steals the poplar, and then
he's
more of his dudes just show up behind him.
You can only use each effect of Big Gabonga once per turn, but no, it's good. Much like how sending to the back row is a form of removal that you can't really do anything with, attaching your opponent's cards as material, as seen by Time Thief Redoer, is just really annoying. It's really
turns
hard
out-
to deal with.
Doing grand theft, doing motorized theft is very effective.
I honestly do enjoy the like, just the general theming of. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to find the word. Sorry. This kind of like a new age style of removal. Like we're not getting removal straight up in the sense of like a pop or a bounce or a spin. We're getting the kinds of removal that can only be done within Yu-Gi-Oh! And I love seeing that kind of shit.
I also like calling it's the I'm not killing it. I'm putting it in my pockets. You can't have it.
Yeah.
It's mine now.
And we know that while detach is sent to graveyard, it is not from field to graveyard. So it much like how sending to back row gets like rid of problem cards, putting them in your pocket also gets rid of problem cards. And also, again, Big Gabonga just keeps the resource loop going. If you don't get it, chat, because we are slightly distracted by talking about things that are not mechanics, because these guys are really cool. But remember, all of your main deck little boys, your little lads, the gang, they get the ability to summon themselves from places by detaching material from an Xyz monster you control. So basically, so long as Big Gabonga keeps supplying them with money, they keep coming back. They keep detaching things and they return to the boss. So
They're
that's
gonna
why
keep fixing the no. It doesn't matter how many times you break their bikes. Big Gabonga will keep giving them more supplies.
Yeah. And now we have, again, the kind of further outplay of the crazy shit that's going on. This is the big bonk up. This
I'm so excited
is
for the spellcraft.
Goblin Bikers Gone Bonkers. Or, Hyakairetsu Yugai Dokuson, Self-Centered 100 Demons, the kick-ass Goblin Riders.
Hell yeah!
This is just their fucking crazy beast attack formation.
Yeah, they've summoned Crazy Beast. I think Diabelle has beat up all of their original mounts, so Big Gabonga has summoned the Crazy Beast while she's riding on another mount, by the way.
Why is she? Why is she on
the?
Why is she on Gamera?
I was gonna say
that's
she's
a
on,
guy
like,
we're gonna see in a second.
Okay.
But yeah,
also-
I think my idea of like her hopping between all of them would probably apply.
Yeah, so she's taken over one of their rides. The turtle is freaked out. He's trying to hide. But
Yeah.
she's also grabbed one of the control leads for the Crazy Beast. So Diabelle has added
guys are
herself to the
fucked.
parade.
And you could tell like all of them are like the crazy beast is fucking like leaning over from like
Yeah.
her force.
I like how Gabonga's just Gynax posing, and it's all the rest of them who are actually like, boss, the witch is here, and she's gonna fuck our shit up.
We're not we're not in the good way right now, boss.
I do also
on,
love
shut
their
up, I'm
like
all
ludicrous
farming right
attacks.
now.
Like, it looks like Boom Mock has like either taken Mean Merciless's whip, or she like whipped him to like give him a bungee cord. Clatter Sploder just has a giant fucking axe. But you can also see, by the way, Mean Merciless is up there. She's got a little fireball in her hand. She just throws fire. That's just a thing she does.
You should imp. She should imp.
Isn't she? Isn't she the water? Wait, what?
She
Yeah,
is
she's
the
the
water,
water,
but
the
she is
poison.
also a fiend. So
Fair enough.
I think it's water because poison.
probably, yeah.
Poison
Like Boom
snake.
Mock is wind because he's fast, and also lightning, stuff like that. So yeah, Gone Bonkers is another dark fiend. Ixie, rank 6.
I love this
25.
actor way to say this, but
2K.
I love these chaotic, silly little guys because that's
Yeah.
actually what they are.
I do
These-
also
these guys
appreciate.
are just mean.
I do also appreciate that because Diabelle is in this one, it's got her stats. Like, it's a rank 6, but it's 25 2K. Very good.
Pretty
Uh,
fun.
2+ level 6 monsters. Target face-up monsters your opponent controls up to the number of goblins you control. Detach a material, one material from monster you control. If you do, attach all those monsters to this card as material.
You're all
This
being
is just-
hijacked.
This is just the clusterfuck pile up.
I
You
do
are being
honestly,
stolen
like,
away.
I didn't really, we hadn't really touched on it, or maybe we did, and I just zoned out. I do love that the archetype here is just goblins.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they because there are cards which interact only with goblin bikers. There are goblin biker spell traps, for instance. But yeah, I've mentioned it a couple of times. But usually when the monsters mention goblins, it's just any goblin. So that, again, I don't know if you actually play non-goblin biker goblins in this deck, but you can, and that's really fucking funny.
Yeah, look, like
a big
it doesn't
game.
have to
There's
be
room for 'em.
optimal, but it's funny.
Yeah.
Can you
The level
imagine
3 is
how
fine.
confused someone is going to be when you're like, okay, so my person summoning is playing Goblin Bikers and they special summon a Goblin Attack Force?
Or
What?
Goblin
Or-
King.
Or Goblin Spec Ops,
King?
actually.
Goblin Spec Ops, Goblin Pothole Squad. Actually, that would be a trap.
Goblin Zombie.
Goblin Zombie's very funny to search.
Uh,
There's Coach Goblin.
Question.
Isn't that
actually.
the human guy for Ogre or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
But it's not very funny.
second Goblin, I think is what it is.
I have a question. Like, how do they make the rank 6 again?
We'll talk about it. It's a spell trap related trick. They do have
Oh,
one
okay.
6 level
They
6.
rank up.
Yeah, badass. But like, I don't think they get. I
yeah.
thought they could turn 3s into 6s or something.
I believe that is one of their spell trap effects. Is either they get to like add their levels up, so 2 3s makes a 6, or they have a rank up type effect. But we're not done with Gone Bonkers. That is a second effect, by the way. During your opponent's turn, quick effect. Target cards your opponent controls up to the number of Goblin Xyz monsters you control. Detach 3 materials from a monsters you control. Send those fuckers to the graveyard. So just this guy
Run 'em
slurps
over.
up the whole
Run 'em
board,
over.
hijacks everything, and then yes, it just causes a big fucking pile up and runs over everything.
I
Like,
love this guy.
send 3 materials, a number of Goblin Xyz you control, put them in the grave.
Okay. I like how the deck sounds good and it just sounds fun.
Yeah.
I understand why this is one YCS because like those are good effects and if you just get them consistently, you could just win a game.
I think
it
the
isn't-
problem might just be that it being a rank 3 deck, it doesn't have as much generic legs to facilitate itself, but it's still a
This
really
was
fun
ranked-
archetype.
I mean, this
This
deck
was a
still won a
rank
Y.
4 toolbox.
I mean, didn't this deck just win like a championship?
I don't
Oh, yeah,
think
yeah.
it did.
No,
Oh,
Big
it
Gabonga
did?
just won a YCS
Oh,
a couple weeks ago.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, that was the same
Yeah,
time they
but-
announced the ban list. So a few people forgot about it, but yeah, no, Big Gabonga did win.
We just got little gremlins.
Yeah, so this is the one I talked about we'd see later. This is Troika Giade, or 100 Demons Giade Trio.
Those are just Furby. Those are just demonic Furbies.
Yeah.
So Furbies.
No,
So
not wrong.
YCS Houston on April 5th was won by Goblin Biker Memento.
Hell yeah.
So they're playing. It's mostly Memento's main deck, but they've got a couple Dug in there, and there are several Mementos, which are 3. And they've got 3 Terror Top, because Terror Top is also a Goblin card.
It's a rank 3.
Yeah.
It's
And
well,
then
it's
they're
a
like
rank 3.
this guy's playing like one big Gabonga in extra deck, and just we win these. So yeah, no, it's not a pure Goblin Biker, but it's enough of an engine that you can get in there. But yeah, Troika Giade is basically they gave them a second rank 3 to make. This card came out a little bit later in Legacy of Destruction, but
I assume this needs three level 3s.
No, it does not need 3 level 3s, but it is 2+.
Oh, all right. I guess I would assume the trio would be 3.
Yeah, they actually, that goes into their other effect text, but let me read the rest of it. They're a light warrior, rank 3, 1700 attack, 0 defense, 2+ level 3 monsters. While 3 or more Xyz materials are attached to monsters on the field, goblins you control can attack directly.
Oh,
So just 3 mats, period. They can do the thing. Also, once per turn, if a monster is normal or special, while this card's in a monster zone, except during the damage step, target one of those monsters, detach a material from a monster on either field. If you do, change that target's battle position.
either field. Interesting.
Yep, detach a material from either field. They love to do that. Once per turn, when an opponent's monster declares an attack, detach a material from a monster on either field, negate that attack. So these guys are described in the Valuable Book EX as the invisible MVPs, 3 powerful goblins due to their amazing accomplishments. They're slow, so no one's seen them on the battlefield.
They're the repair crew.
Yeah, but I love this. When the members are fleeing in defeat, their party remark, if Troika had been there, you'd be over. So these are like the support crew. They're clearly the old veterans. I mean, they're dressed kind of like a modern American bikers. Like they've got the leather jackets, no shirt, with their little pot bellies and
The
like
jeans.
jeans. Yeah. But like they're
They all
slow
look
to
pretty
show
slow.
up, but they'd get there. So yeah.
But
I love
as it
that-
turns out, I think the bit is all the old bikers still popular and drive away, and then these guys show up from behind, and Diablos just hijacks their fucking thing.
Yeah.
I
So,
love
yeah,
I love the bit of one of them has the Washoy fan, but it's got fucking big Gabonga on it.
So
I'm a fan of them having the different colored jeans in the
Yes.
in the
Oh, yeah.
It's Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
tricolor. They got the tricolor pairing going on.
They also got I'm curious what those stickers are, because it's like some of them are just like very just actual symbology things.
Oh, okay.
One's
So our
just
next
a
card's
sock.
very important, and I'm glad we did it in that. We're doing spell traps now because it shows a lot of their faces when they're not masked up. Also, it
Oh,
has
huh.
another funny Diabell Star face. This is Goblin Biker Grand Bash.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
I'm ready. I'm ready for some high speed assault.
No, this one's
Now I
sneaky.
gotta speed up the playback because it keeps doing this.
Yeah, sorry if it gets a little freezy, but
Oh wow.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
them
so-
planning to steal it from her.
so that's so Big Nose is Clatter Sploder. There's a little one with the green big.
Oh yeah.
So
He's
you,
even,
we do
he's
actually get
working
to
his
see
own
Mean
bombs.
Merciless's face.
Oh, I didn't realize she's got gangly hands.
Yeah, she's got long hands. Also, she's got a
Very-
horn in her face,
very
but
s-
she's got cute little fangs, and she apparently does her makeup, despite the fact that she
She's got
wears a
kind
mask.
of she's got like a lizard face.
Skeletal like.
I mean, she is a fiend, so her being bony makes sense.
Mm.
The Mohawk guy, that's Doug. That's what Doug looks like without his mask.
Yeah.
Just a gremlin.
And then Big Gabonga, look at
Actually
him,
looks
man.
fucking. He's handsome.
He's got fireside burns. He's got a huge chin.
He's got hobgoblin.
Yeah.
I mean, from if it's torso up, he looks very impressive.
And then there's just one of the little goblins in the back is like, "Hey, boss, we saw her. We saw the woman." And
The witch is here.
Look at
The
her
witch-
little.
the
Look at her
dumbass
face.
witch.
Look at her.
That's one of the bikers on the turtle, I think.
Yeah, I think it's a Troika or Troika adjacent guy. But
Just
yeah,
she
no.
looks so pleased with
Our
herself.
arch enemy. That dopey witch is back.
But yeah, no, like her just goofy little like face. Mind your own
I
business.
say like dopey because I feel like that's how he's describing her or something.
Yeah. But no, this is a great look, and they're all like, they got their wanted posters, they got all their fucking money. Clatter Sploder is eating yeah, they got a bar of gold, but Clatter Sploder is just eating, ye old meat stick. Meat on the bone.
It actually feels a bit weird seeing his just face like that instead of with the helmet.
Like some weird bird. Gremlin.
Yeah,
Well, he's got a bird guy.
I just think of the penguin, but that could just be me.
So Grand Bash is a continuous spell trap that says, Goblin monsters you control gain 300 attack for each goblin monster you control. It's kind of shaped like itself.
Literal pack tactics. Okay.
Yeah. During your main phase, you can normal summon one goblin monster in addition to your normal summoner set. You can only gain this effect once per turn.
Oh, that's good for them.
Okay, so it's literally them plotting an ambush. Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Also, you can target 2 goblin monsters you control, activate one of these effects. Make the level of one of those monsters become the current level of the other. Make both their levels become their combined level. So this is how you do the 6s.
Okay, so it's literally
Okay.
Okay, so it is just their team. It literally, this is the card represents all their teamwork and ambush
And
tactics.
that makes sense
Yeah.
if you want to make a rank 3, but you've only got a level 6 as the other one, or
Yeah,
vice
so
versa.
you can change their levels. It also means that if you're playing the goblins, which are also different levels because there are a lot of 4s, you can still play them and make them 3s. So like you have
Or
reasons
make
to play
4s
non.
and then do something else.
True. That also means you could make them 4s and play rank 4s. So it's good. The name of this in Japanese is Daishukai. So it's Goblin Rider or 100 Demons Grand Meeting. So yeah, this is the big meeting.
They're gonna go. They're gonna go blind. They're gonna go blindside Diabell Star and steal our shit.
Well, guess what? That's our literal next card art that I will now pull up. I also think that, like, I didn't think about it before because I wasn't looking at him closely, but I think another reason why Diabell has the kind of, like, girl failure or stinky reputation is she makes a lot of great faces in these arts, and also some of these close-ups you can kind of see it looks like she's got some dark circles. But next we're talking about Goblin Biker Grand Entrance.
I mean, doesn't like Diabell only? She sleeps on crates. She's never slept in a bed in years.
No, she's got a mattress on top of those crates in the
I
corner.
remember seeing this card art like when they were first introduced, and everyone was like, "Oh, these guys are great! Like these guys are the best."
Okay, so, okay, I'm gonna pitch this. So this is the end of the episode where she's about just beat Flamberge and has Poplar down. She's walking back home, and then suddenly, in the middle of the night, they're sitting above her, and it's just like, "Well, hey, Diabell,
Just
what
start
you
playing
what you
roundabout.
got there?" It's like, "What you got there?"
Like, she's so fucking, like, done with it. She wants to go home, and Poplar's like, hey, what the fuck are those guys?
Quickly, what's the name of the trio guys again? Troika?
Yes.
Troika.
Troika, set off the fireworks now.
Yeah, so they appear in a flash. There's Gabonga, there's Doug, there's Merciless on her snake. You've got Boom Mock, and you've got Clatter Sploder in the back. And she's
fucking
just,
snake
like,
is looking-
trying so hard not to look at these guys.
Like, just don't look at them. Ignore them, and they don't know I'm here. I can't.
Do
I don't
not
want to
interact.
acknowledge them.
Yeah.
The snake is looking less like it's in pain in this version.
Yeah.
Well, it's always looking like it's had a good time.
So, this is a normal spell, which says, add a goblin from your deck to your hand, then apply one of these effects. Detach a Xyz material from a monster on either field. If you do, special summon one level 4 or lower goblin from your hand. So you can search a goblin, and then if you've got material to detach, you can summon a goblin. Banish this card from your graveyard. Detach a Xyz material from a monster on either field. Add one goblin from your graveyard to your hand. You can use each effect once per turn. So just add goblins, more goblins, search goblins. Summon
God, I
goblins.
just imaged the dumb bit of like she ignores them, and they just like don't ignore us. It's like, and they're just like, "Oh, what you got there? Just take it, run away."
Yeah. And so our next one, this is a follow-up to Gone Bonkers. This is known as Goblin Biker Grand Pileup.
That's so good.
So this is the moments after disaster of the moments before disaster we had when those goblins were looking at Diabel grabbing the lead to the beast.
Oh yeah, here we go.
The Beast
Is
and
that-
Poplar have merged.
That's popular.
Yes, no. So Diabel using her magic sends Poplar or awakens Poplar that's still on the crazy beast, and Poplar possesses the crazy beast and becomes a big swole guy.
Hell yeah.
And
Maybe
this
So
leads
more
into
dragons, yeah.
this leads into Snake Eye Diabel stuff.
yeah. And also just shows the goblins getting their comeuppance. You've got Mean Merciless, kind of like flying off there.
She looks
all-
actually scared.
Yeah, all
He's
the
got
rest of
little
them are like
shred drops
diving.
and-
They're all just like, we gotta get out of here.
Oh my god, no!
We gotta skedaddle.
Oh, fuck, I forgot his name, but Birdman is being crushed. He's actually under the tail.
Yeah, he's being squished a little bit. But yeah, we'll see the exact moment this happens in a second. But basically, Poplar wakes up hungry and then slurps up the crazy beast. How does it do it?
He's even got the
Well, it's hungry.
Don't worry
he's got
about
the
it.
exhale, like little cloud puff coming out of him.
Yeah. So, Pile Up. Stampede's the next card. Pile Up is a normal trap that says target Xyz you control. Special summon a Goblin Xyz from your extra deck using that target as material. If you do, attach this card to it as material. This is treated as an Xyz summon, transfer its material. So, yes, they also have a rank up trap.
I will say, I think pacing wise in a narrative, the silly encounter of the Goblin Bikers works as a nice like tone setter to how like a variety of tone we're getting between how like actually kind of dark and tragic DFL stores like life is.
This is the moment of levity before they get the real heavy-hitting flashback out. But also, you can banish Grand Pileup from your graveyard, target a Goblin Xyz you control, and one card in either graveyard. Attach the targeted card from the graveyard to that monster on the field as material. You can use each effect once per turn. So once again, really annoying form of removal. Attach a card from either graveyard to a Goblin you control. Your opponent, that graveyard guy you want back? No, that's Big Gabongos now. Just really annoying effects that are very funny removal. And also, like I said, this is their other way to handle the rank 6 is they have a rank up basically.
To make a reference to musical, they just steal everything.
But technically, our next card is slightly earlier in the setup, but it was lower alphabetically. So this is the one I mentioned before, which is Stampede. This is it's still Crazy Beast, but this is basically Big Gabonga's had enough of Diabel's shit and unleashes the Crazy Beast on her. But she has her own plans.
Or they mistakenly woke up Poplar and ate the Crazy Beast.
No, that's a separate card.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's just Poplar. Okay, this is just like the Poplar of like the shit that the Crazy Beast has on him.
No, it's not Poplar. The shading makes you think that, but no, it's still Crazy Beast because you can see it's still got the
Crazy Beast is
the
goes
tin.
nuts.
I guess she just filled.
Like the
I guess she
key
injected
lock
with a sinful spoil. So okay, makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
It almost looks like her Sinful Spore destroys like the control collar.
Yeah, that might be it, and then she's gonna set at least. But this is Grand Stampede. This is a continuous trap. During the main phase, you can immediately after this effect resolves, Xyz summon one Xyz monster using goblins you control. By the way, that's either player's turn because it's a during the main phase effect, and it's a trap card, so you can inherently activate it on your opponent's turn. If you control a goblin Xyz monster, you can target one effect monster on the field, attach one Xyz material from any monster on the field, from monster on either field. Negate that monster's effect until the end of the turn. You can only use each effect, one effect per turn, only once that turn. But still, if you need to make an Xyz on your opponent's turn, you can summon any rank 3. And if you don't need to do that, it's a negate.
I feel like this is this feels like one page of a 2-page splash spread.
Possibly. But yeah. But that is all of the Goblin Biker cards for now. They have a couple of points where they come back for the lore. At least I think so anyway. Let me double check the the look of another card.
There's one card I think we should end on, but that's it for thing, I guess.
Well, I know exactly how we're ending.
All right, hopefully.
But there are more sinful spoils related to this phase.
Oh, okay.
Is also it, but I need to double check if yeah, that one's definitely happening later. No, actually we can probably do this one. I wasn't sure exactly when this happens. Oh, no, yeah, this would be later. Okay, so no, this would be, we start with one of these cards next time. So no, I was just double checking. There are a couple more Goblin Biker spell traps. I'm also stalling because a couple of people have muted. But those would be later in the lore. Which means we're on to our next one, which, as I mentioned before, is another the Sinful Spoil card. But does explain once that loads. It's going to explain what was going on with Poplar. All right. Sorry, it took a second for it to load. So, remove Stampede. And this is the card art of Sinful Spoils Struggle.
That's just a cool fucking shot.
Yeah, so this is, it's described in the valuable book as Poplar wakes up on an empty stomach and decides to eat Crazy Beast. Crazy Beast tries to eat it back, but obviously doesn't win. So just... It turns out that Poplar was also a Kerbo.
That's terrifying, because a Kerbo is a dangerous eldritch weapon that can destroy reality.
Sorry, waiting for everybody to come back and also sweating slightly down here. But yes, no, sorry, I got an extra tab. Struggle is a quick play spell card. It's a Sinful Spoil, so they're all searchable. And it just says, target any number of cards on the field. Maximum number of targets is the number of that player's Sinful Spoil cards that are banished or in their graveyard. Destroy them. If the set card is destroyed or banished by your opponent's card effect, shuffle 2 cards from the field into the deck. You can only activate 1 Sinful Spoil Struggle per turn. This is a card that is not super good. Trust me, for reasons of other effects. I have looked at every single Sinful Spoil. This card is not good. I think the idea is it's either for mirrors, because it's target any number of cards in the field. The number of targets on each side is that player's Sinful Spoils that are banished from their graveyard. So it's like counterplay or for mirror matches. And then obviously the idea is you want to bait it out so that this set card is destroyed by an opponent's effect to shuffle 2 from the field into the deck. That's just really a big pain in the ass to set up. So it's a case where they made the counterplay card in the archetype, and not great. Could be better. Sorry, I had a slight yawn there.
What the hell did I come back to?
Sinful Spoils Struggle. This is Poplar eats the crazy beast.
Oh, he just Kirby's it.
Yeah.
Neat.
A card that is important for lore, but as I was just saying, in the real game, a bad card. It's a quick play spell. It says target any number of cards on the field. The max number of targets on each side is the number of that player's Sinful Spoils that are banished or in their graveyard. Destroy them. If the set card is destroyed or banished by your opponent's card effect, or opponent's activated effect, shuffle 2 cards from the field into the deck. So, like, if you get the pop set effect, it's very good because it's a non-targeting shuffle 2.
Yeah,
but
that's like a pretty funny card, but nothing crazy.
Yeah, this feels like a lore card they had to print for lore reasons to explain what's happening, but it doesn't really do anything because it's, I feel like, a counterplay card to Sinful Spoils. You can plus in some of these decks off popping your own cards, but still.
All things considered, we've had like one, I would say, legitimate stinker out of all the cards we've reviewed so far. Like the Goblin Bikers, I think as a whole are just really solid across the board.
Yeah. They're just a really good engine. They're just a bunch of guys who special summon themselves to make rank 3s. But also,
just a bunch
if
of
you feel
dudes.
like it, you could make them rank 6s or rank 4s or any other rank that a goblin monster is. Because you can level fix. And yeah, so Struggle is kind of a dud card, but most of the other cards were like, all of them saw play in various versions. Like I was mentioning to chat before you unmuted earlier, Vesper, I have looked at basically every Sinful Spoil card because when we get to White Forest, that's another thing they do is search Sinful Spoils. So, like, this is probably the worst Sinful Spoil to play. That's not saying a lot because, like, all the rest of them are, like, actually quite functional.
Yeah,
But,
like
good.
when the worst one is just like, oh, it's like just a card. It's
So
fine.
The funny part is though that this becomes, or rather explains how we get to, Snake Eyes Diabell Star, which is obviously both a Snake Eyes and a Diabell Star. You kind of saw where this was going in the card art for Pile Up, but this is the kind of like finalized version. Also, see you later.
Oh,
Esther.
that looks wicked.
Yeah, so this is like less cartoonish. So like Diabell's like, you know, her she had a whip that's clearly become now it's a magical chain. The crazy beast has been taken over by Poplar, so it has the giant snake eye on its head. It's got Poplar's color scheme, but it also still has like the huge headlights and the weird spike collar thing.
Yeah, it still has a lot of the like pieces of the puzzle that call out Crazy Beast's look, but it's still very much Poplar. I dig that.
Yeah.
I guess I was looking at it. I mean, it's like I guess it's Struggle, then Pile Up, and then this.
Yeah. So this is there, and the valuable book even says basically, Diabell had no idea what the fuck was going on, so she just threw this at Gabonga and his gang, and we went off. So Snake Eyes Diabell Star, Jagan no Dai-Enma, Great Flame Demon, is a level 8 fire spellcaster. 2,800 attack, 2,600 defense. So not as strong as Flamberge yet, but still bigger and stronger than just Diabell on her own.
Well, it's not as big as Flamberge.
Yeah. When an attack is declared involving this card and an opponent's monster, place this card from the field and that opponent's monster face up in their owner's spell trap zones as continuous spells. This plagued progression forever for like two videos. Because this is again.
Target.
Yes, no, this is a really annoying form of removal. This is basically like the modern equivalent to like DD Warrior Lady.
This is how I got the Arc as a continuous spell.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what does it do?
When an attack is declared involving this card and an opponent's monster, you can place this card from the field and that opponent's monster face up in the spell trap zone. Put him in the back.
Oh, more of this. Yeah,
non-targeting, when attack is declared on attack deck, put him in the back row. While this
This guy's
card's a
on the
continuous
board?
spell,
Oh,
target one fire monster in your graveyard except Snake Eyes Diabell Star. Put it in its owner's spell trap zone as a continuous spell and summon this card. You can only use each effect once per
Cool.
turn. So yeah, she's removal who recycles herself instantly while reloading your fires from your graveyard.
awesome.
Oh man, I'm not gonna lie. It felt a certain kind of way to see this person attack my Zeok. Go, I've got rid of him, and then just do no damage to me afterwards.
Yeah,
Was
it's very
so
funny.
good.
But yeah, this is basically gives Snake Eyes another big guy to summon. It's also a Diabell
yeah,
monster
sure.
for certain sinful spoils. Got a lot of stuff going on. But we're gonna end it.
This guy's crazy.
Yeah, no, it's a great card. But we're gonna end it with we had a little bit of another thing.
A cliffhanger,
The sneak
perchance?
Yeah, kinda. Because some stuff happens. Diabell defeats all those goblins, but then somebody shows up. Who could that person be?
Oh, that's loud. Sorry.
That's fine.
Can I
Wish
pet
should
that
double
dog?
check.
Can I bet that dog?
That's what I think. Please look at this poplar.
Sorry, the Wikipedia is being a little slow today, right now. And I don't think any edits happened to this card because
I would
her
doubt
vibe is
it.
different because she's covered head to toe. Because it's Diabell's, the original Sin Keeper. Her name in Japanese, by the way, is Diabell's the original Sinner.
Hmm.
Wrong art. Find the art that I always like showing.
So this is an action shot. It's got, weird fog or sand swirling around her. This woman is very clearly the antithesis for Diabell Star.
She's like a mix between like a White Witch and a Inquisitor, but then you also then notice all of the weird Eldritch Corruption bullshit inside of her coat and her arm.
Yeah, there's like you see this design and the color coding, and your brain says, "Oh, I guess she's like the good witch." But then you start like paying attention. You're like, "There's something not right going on here."
No, she's the corrupted.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh
the
no,
eyes as
Konami,
well.
the company that had a whole big art where the weird, dark skin-toned monstrous dragon boy was good and the Catholic Church Knights were super evil? The White Witch is the bad one? No, say it ain't so.
Also, I've also in chat. I have shared my favorite art of her.
Okay, I got a chuckle with that. That's fucking
This is
great.
my favorite art of her.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
is-
no,
She
this
closes
is
the
a
coat.
great
Is what it looks
one.
like.
She closes the coat and she's all snug in there. Yeah, no, that's great. And the coat would work like that because she's got it wide open. But yeah, so she's got a white hat on. The inside of her coat is like weird blue swirls with like demon mouths and shit in there.
She's done the thing where she's taken one arm out of the coat.
Yeah.
Well, it's because she's got fucking freakish nails.
Well, that's because yes, that's a sinful spoil. I believe her claws and her
arms are
rod
spoiled.
are a spoil. She's also like she's blonde, but she's got the weird like purple tips, which kind of like again complements Diabell Star, because Diabell Star's vibe is
Green and pink, right?
well,
Fucking, like red, black.
she's red, which is contrasted by the blue.
Ah,
And then Diabell's is
Oh, wait a
white,
second.
purple, blue, and
Yeah.
yellow.
And Diabell's
Oh,
Diabell Star's hair highlights are green.
Also,
it's
as you
kind of the Millennium Eye like design on her coat, but not really.
Oh, Vesper, I'm so glad you brought this up. Guess what type this bitch is?
Oh, is she an illusion?
She's an illusion. That's right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they tucked a little
One
thing
of
in
the
there.
First,
I forgot
one of the
about
first
that.
illusions.
Yeah, she's very early. This is basically like the first thing they did with illusion after Chimera was Diabell's.
It's spellcaster 2, but it's also like intentional because I think it's technically, I think her actual form is a different thing.
Well,
That's
she's the original
later.
Sinner, so it is possible. There's
She's
some
an
lore stuff we
yeah.
don't know quite yet.
She used to be a blonde. Okay.
Well, she's blonde right now.
The way her hair is layered, it's more of like as if like the purple is the original hair color, but it's
Well, yeah,
Not-
they're the tips,
uh,
but basically, actually, no, the roots come in first.
Yeah.
So
I know
the
it's just
tips.
like it just looks like when you like look at like the top of her hair, like under it is the purple, but yeah.
No,
And
it's the tips of her hair.
That's just
are,
the design look in like two-tone hair sometimes.
Fair.
That's not like
yeah, her.
yeah.
Alright.
It's mostly the tips. I think she has like a streak in her hair, like up here under her hat. But yeah,
The other thing is also just all the fucking swirling mouths inside her coat.
yeah, they're spooky. She's got a
That's probably
demon
fine.
dimension in there. So Diabelle's the original Sin Keeper is a light illusion level 7 with 2,500 attack and 2,000 defense. She is in fact Diabelle stars equal and opposite. She's light. Diabelle is dark. She's an illusion. Diabelle is a spellcaster. All out there. If a Sinful Spoils card is in either player's graveyard, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can only special summon Diabelle's once per turn this way. So
Funny.
instead of Diabelle Star's method of, sending a card like she dispatches something or defeats something or just spends money to find a Sinful Spoils, Diabelle's only shows up after you've already used your Sinful Spoils. Your opponent must set spell trap cards before activating them. That's right. This bitch is anti-spell on
anti-spell?
legs. Yeah. She's an anti-spell on legs.
I think it's also to be like, I deactivate all your spoils.
I mean, yes, basically, it's you cannot activate your Sinful Spoils.
Also, it makes
right away.
all the cards that get sent to the back row forever stuck, so they go in the coat.
Well, no, because those are not activated.
There.
They do not become set.
That's fair.
If a spell trap becomes set on the field, this card's in the monster zone, except during the damage step. Target one card you control, one card your opponent controls, destroy them. You can use this effect once per turn. So basically, she is a spell fragrance that forces your opponent to set cards. When your opponent set cards, you then get to do a double pop. So it turns the setting into a pop. So just very, very, very rough out there. But that is Diabelle's.
Tune in next week for more.
Well, we'll actually talk about her two Sinful Spoils cards as well, because they set up the next play.
I remember what I was going to say.
Because the first one is she has her direct one. Oh, got a bad
Oh,
game
right, I
here.
got it.
Hold on.
Umbran Witch, meet the Lumen Sage.
Kind of, but also it could just be that time that Jean was evil.
Ugh.
Also, if people are tuning out at the end there, we've gotten a very funny lineup where, indeed, as everyone expected, Gargura has announced she's graduating.
Yeah, that's.
I kind of think everybody knew this one was going to happen. I mean, yeah, she had the stream.
I mean, it's been a long time coming for like a year and a half. Like she has never had a single like consistent stream schedule for like nearly 2 years.
Yeah. Despite her being the like turbo biggest, so it's sad news, but I feel like is out of the recent batch of English graduations, like the
it
least
felt like
unexpected.
it was coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like you had Fauna and Gura, who I guess were company situations, and you had Mume, who just was forced to do it. Ame, I think Ame is the only one where it's like no, like she did it willingly, she
Yeah,
she
I
wanted.
mean,
she
Ame
wanted
is
to
also the only one
do
so
the
far
ending.
who's done the affiliate thing. So like, she's the only one where she's left it where she can just come back to do work if she likes. But also clearly, for again, for kayfabe stuff we won't get into on a stream because I don't want to fucking die. Clearly, Ame had like other more complex non-Hololive things to do. If you know what's up. I've said this before. I'm still not as sure exactly why Fauna wanted to go because like everybody's like, oh, the company mismatch. But like when that happened with Fauna, all the other talents came out and said, hey, we don't ever actually have to do anything. We don't have to like sing or dance or do anything. It's all like the company enables us to do it. But given that her past life stuff went through a rebrand, she may have just wanted a rebrand. Like
It
wasn't
does
feeling
also,
the vibes.
I mean, like, it feels like we've done a bizarre full circle because, like, when Hololive first started, like well before we had an EN branch, it was very much centered around the idol culture. Then it kind of just shifted to just it's just like streamer culture. Like we just got all these talent who sometimes do songs and collabs.
Well, I think I can
but
say
they're
why it
mostly
happened.
streamers.
COVID
I mean,
boom. Because you can't do idol shows when you're in COVID lockdown, but you can stream video games. But yeah, now it's kind of like Hololive is so big that like there's definitely encouragement to do big productions and shows and lives and shit. Which obviously doesn't fit everybody, but also like it seems like a lot of the other girls still have their niches. So it's an interesting one. But I have our next art on screen.
If there's something to come out of this, rip Bozo the Dodgers, right?
Yeah,
they lost their special power.
They've lost their mascot. Ugh.
The apple.
But yeah, this is Sinful Spoils of Slumber, which I think actually it's Morian both in the OCG and the TCG, but they translated it with a G because I think it's supposed to be Welsh. If this was Sinful Spoils Morrigan, I think that would make a lot more sense given what we know now.
I enjoy this as basically feels like this is the boss fight you just always lose.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
So
I just realized.
Yeah.
Did one of her fingers turn into another hand?
Huh?
No, she's grabbing the mask off of her fingers.
Yes. No, that's Diabelle's mask. She's taken off.
Yeah, Diabelle's mask because it's on her right side.
And also notice that her spooky hand side, she's still got her fingernails, but they're making a like purple and black mist. So basically, I think what's happening is Diabelle shows up. She's like, "Hey, Diabelle Star, how's it going? This thing? I need this thing." And Diabelle's like, "I'll fucking stab you." And she's like, "No, sleep time now, nappy time."
You want this thing? I want it.
I guess to say this is like I guess I more took it as like they encounter. They've not seen each other for years. So they fight. She steals Poplar. She takes the mask off. I was like, "Oh, it's you. Goodbye."
No, I don't think they fight. Actually, is the thing. I think that Diabelle's has showed up. She has been dispatched specifically to steal this thing back because somebody wants that sinful spoil. But yes, this is the sinful spoil that that Diabelle's has Morion. It is a normal trap that says target a special summon monster on the field, change the face down defense position. Yo, is that Book of Moon?
Go to sleep, Diabelle.
If you control a level 5 or higher illusion monster while this card's in your graveyard, you can set this card to banish it when it leaves the field. You can only use one effect per turn and only once that turn. So yes, this is a great card to get off any of your cards that search or set sinful spoils because it is just Book of Moon, and it resets itself. If you control high-level illusions, I wonder what theme that will be.
Huh. I wonder. Could be anything.
But, I mean, they do technically fight, but I don't think they fight first before Diabelle's does this because the next card we have is basically her showing up because this is the card called Sinful Spoils Subdual, or Cycling Sinful Treasure in Japanese. Subdual works better.
I mean, it can also just be a situation of like less of a fight and more just like you have that confrontation clash where she steals Poplar and fucks off.
Yeah. Well, you guys will see another great shot because this is another one that looks like a manga splash panel. So basically, Dia Bellstar's got to be feeling pretty great. She summoned a giant monster. It's made all the goblin bikers fuck off. And then, boom.
Oh, that's how she shows up.
Yeah, I can only assume flying out of the sky, Dia Bells crashes onto the dragon form of Poplar, instantly makes it go sweepy time.
And Diabell just fucking lunges for her.
And then Diabell tries to stab her, and she's just like, no, don't do that. But I love the eyes in the background of this shot.
Gives big Kiryu and Ragu vibes.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a little kill the kill type energy. Like I said, we do some cool stuff with shots in this.
Oh my god, the eye shot in the background.
Yeah,
oh my god. Good. This art's going. The art's been going crazy this whole episode.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
No, the art style for this is super high quality.
The crazy fucking hand stuff.
Ooh, that feels nice.
Yeah.
So Crazy Beast is just dead.
That's probably fine.
So what this does, this is another normal trap, which is still a Sinful Spoils, which says, take one level 5 or higher illusion from your deck, and either add it to your hand or special summon it. But if you special summon it, you can't activate its effects during the main phase of this turn. You can banish this card from your graveyard, target a face-down card you control, return it to the hand, set a spell trap from your hand. You're going to use each effect once per turn and only once that turn. So basically, this is a alternative method than having a Sinful Spoil in your graveyard. Like if you're going first and you're not using or pitching your Sinful Spoils to summon Diabells, obviously, and also future cards. And then also, it lets you do very funny things by returning set spell traps and then setting them again, which would obviously trigger Diabell's effect, but also will come into play when we learn more about what the fuck is going on here, which will be next week's episode. But yeah, no, Diabell Star is not having a good time, but we'll come back for more learning about the White Forest and, a couple of little lasses named Astellar and Elzette. And yes, if you're curious, that's Diabell Star and Diabell's real names. She's Elzette, or White is Elzette, Black Witch is Astellar. So yeah, sorry about the slight scuff earlier. Hopefully that won't be a problem next week. I'm pretty sure my drivers are all up to date, but I'll double check everything. And maybe I'll figure out the audio setup pre-time so I can try and pipe that shit in, but it's tough sometimes. But thanks everybody for tuning in. It's been a longer term episode, but we'll see you guys next time. And also, we'll be doing 14 again tomorrow. Yes, as Loth said, bye-bye now. Oh yeah, the poll is up. The Fail Portrayal poll is up. You got a couple weeks to answer it. I think it's going to be good for a couple more days. Check it out. Don't worry, Loth. You didn't have any ideas, so I just put some other bullshit in there.
Thank you.